Have you ever Googled yourself and were shocked to see your personal information exposed on one of those public listing sites? Data brokers are making a fortune selling your information to robocalls, spammers, and others who want to learn more about you, like where you live. That's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Aura. Aura can identify data brokers exposing your info and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. Brokers are legally required to remove your info if you ask them to, but they make it super hard to do. Let Aura handle that for you. You can try Aura for free 2 weeks using my link aura.com/sneakdis. Aura also does so much more to protect you and your family from online threats you can't see. Trust me, you see all these sneakers behind me. If you're a sneakerhead listening to this, you know the great links we do to get sneakers and stuff like that, putting our information on overseas websites, ordering sneakers from other countries and stuff like that because of how hard it is to get in the U.S. Sometimes we don't know the background of those websites, and sometimes those websites are honestly a little sketchy. Get Aura. Aura can help you out to make sure that you're protected, make sure that your information isn't going places it shouldn't be. And like I said, man, when you want to move on in your life and start, advancing and stuff like that, you want to make sure that you're good. You want to make sure that your money and your information and data isn't out there and can expose something that isn't true about you, or, see something on your account that doesn't belong to you. Like I said, Aura can protect that, and use that link right there you see on the screen, aura.com/sneakdis. It's really easy to set up, so you don't have to download several different apps to get things like parental controls, antivirus, VPN, password management, identity theft insurance, and more. You get everything at one affordable price. Let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online, and you can focus on other tasks with peace of mind, like buying all these sneakers you see behind me. You can either let people continue to exploit and profit off your private information, or you can go to aura.com/sneakdis to start your 2-week trial. That's a 2-week free trial. Linked below in the description. Like I said, man, it's good to know where your information is going. As mentioned before, this is the best sneaker podcast, period. And we spend a lot of money online. And sometimes when you're doing your best to cop the latest sneakers, you don't know where your information is going. You don't know where your data is going. You don't know where your data is going after you purchase from that website. You want to make sure you're protected. Like I said, go to aura.com/sneakdis, 2-week free trial. Check it out. All right. Yo, Sneak This Podcast, episode 336. I have the homie all the way from China on the phone today. Decided to do an episode in between. I haven't set the closet back up to do episodes because I had planned on doing an episode like in between the regular episodes, but I'm just way, way too busy. But I was like, man, I got to talk to my homie Jay. Y'all know him as Shanghai Soul on Instagram and stuff like that. He don't be on Twitter. He be on Instagram. So, I had to get the homie on the phone today.
Yo. Thanks for having me on, man. It's been over, has it been 2 years?
No, it's been like a year. You were on in January last year, weren't you?
I don't remember what was the last episode I was on.
I can't remember either.
It's been a while, but then I was going to say, like, why you always keep me in the closet? Pause.
Because it's just easier that way. I'm like, I know that's the thing. See, I prefer to talk to people by myself this way, only because 99% of the time, George ain't going to really say anything on the phone. So,
or he's on his phone.
Yeah, so it saves me editing, to just have edit another person in the video who isn't participating at all. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just easier this way. Like this is what I planned on doing. I planned on doing the regular episode every other week with George, and then every episode I do at home I'll do with a person, like over the phone or something like that. So right. I think that's what I'm going to try to get back into, is just the setup and things like that. And then I got sneakers everywhere and hats everywhere, and it's like just trying to get into this closet, it ain't easy. All right, so plus with the kids and stuff running around and everything, I'm like, all right, I'm trying not to be in here 2 hours or whatnot.
Just life stuff, man. Life stuff is just piling up.
Like, it's piling up, and then it's like, gotta talk about sneakers this week. Like, I'm sorry, like sneakers are just not, they're not a priority in my life, and neither is this podcast. Like, this podcast has just become. I appreciate everybody who listens. I appreciate everybody who rides, and I'm just trying to get everybody a little bit of relief throughout the week. That's literally it. Like, if I could, if I didn't have to do this ever again, it wouldn't mind. Especially, like I said, and I'm not trying to get on here and complain, but I ain't getting paid for this. Like, this is a lot
Yeah.
of work. Like, you just had to deal with it. Like, we were supposed to start recording like 30, 40 minutes ago. Then I was like, oh crap, I don't have headphones. So I had to run to the grocery store, find some cheap headphones. Of course, in the times that we're in now, they have every single thing locked up now. So it's like, you got to try to find somebody to unlock the headphones. Like, you got to try to find somebody to unlock the headphones I bought right now that I'm wearing in my head. Cheap, $12. I just grabbed some cheap headphones just to have for this. And, but you got to go find somebody to have a special key to unlock the headphones. And then the store is about as big as a warehouse. So it's like hard to find an employee. And it's like, man, I ain't got time for this, man. But
I'm about to fly to the States tomorrow. You got any advice for me? It's the first time in 4 years, by the way, that I'm flying to US of A. Like, I haven't been. I'm gonna go see my sister in Oakland, and my niece I haven't seen since she was 3 months old. And now she's almost four and a half.
say, she's almost 4.5.
Yeah, she's four and a half, and I haven't seen her in more than 4 years. I mean, I haven't been back to the States. So, you got any advice?
But I got no advice. So watch out for homeless people. That's all I got for you.
For
Like,
like, it's scary when you're on Instagram, like, so much, and social media. It just makes the world sound like a messed up place right now.
I mean, this is what I've learned, right? Like, and this is what I tell a lot of people that I work with, because they let the world that they see on the internet affect their actual world. Like, they can't focus on their world. Trust me, it may be crazy out there, but it's not that crazy out there. Like, as long as you
Yeah.
focus on your own world, that's it. Like, I had to literally draw a diagram at work for somebody. I drew a gigantic circle and I said, this is the world. It's not your world. It's not my world. This is the world. And I drew this tiny little dot and I said, that's your world. That's all you got to be worried about. These cats be complaining about, oh, there's people dressed like animals calling themselves dogs now, and transgender people and all this stuff. I'm like, man, you guys are complaining about. I've been alive for 40 years. I think I maybe have seen maybe 8 trans people, gender people in my entire life, and they didn't have no effect on my life. Like, the things that people complain about and worry about is strictly because of the cell phone. That's it.
Yeah.
I would have.
And you let it get to you too for no reason,
You
right?
let it
Like,
get to. I stopped it in my house. CNN, and unless something major crazy in the world, the news isn't allowed on my TV in the house, because we were watching the news just to get angry. We weren't watching it to like be informed. You could get informed in many different ways right now, but we're watching the news to be angry at people that we don't agree with, or people that don't agree with us. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is poison. Like, I'm getting angry about a topic that's taken place across the entire country, and then my entire day is ruined over here in Arizona because I can't stop discussing something that has no effect on my life whatsoever. Like,
yeah.
it's insane. Like I said, you go to the Bay Area, you just watch out for homeless people. You still can go have fun, enjoy, stay away from. Trust me, your world will be just fine. You ain't
Right.
you ain't
Well,
trying
that's
to
good.
link. You ain't trying to meet up with nobody out there.
I mean, I'm gonna be like hopping around. So
Uh,
I'm in the States for 3 weeks, but I'm going to LA in between the SF trip. So I'll be in SF for 5 days, and then um LA for 10, and then SF again for 7.
what you
So
going
I'm
to
not
LA
like,
for?
yeah, just to see friends,
Oh,
see some
okay.
friends.
Y'all
Yeah.
not going to like Disneyland or nothing?
I mean, we got Disneyland in Shanghai. Like, I mean, I
Oh,
guess. I mean, yeah, I mean, dude, we got Disneyland, we got Shake Shack, we got Five Guys, we got pizza. I mean, someone on Instagram actually messaged me the other day and said, and this, I guess, goes back to the news thing. But someone was like, "Hey, is it as bad out there as America makes it sound?" And I literally took a photo of like I was like inside dough or something, and I was like, "No, it's not that bad at all."
Yeah, no.
You know, yeah. So I mean, I guess that goes to what you were saying. It's like it's as bad as you want it to be. It's as good as you want it.
Yeah, I'm like, you can find bad China on social media. You can find bad America on social media. You can find all this stuff. Today, my son has 2 soccer games today. Probably gonna go to Costco today. Probably gonna go to the grocery store. Like, I'm gonna go do some stuff. Maybe go get some burrito or something. Like, I'm gonna do all these things, and I don't anticipate anything ruining that day unless I let it.
All right. So then, I have a question for you. Then, how would you say the States is different than 4 years ago? If you can remember that far.
Well, this is what I'll say, and it's probably a little bit more than 4. It's about, we'll say, what, 6 now, 5, and I'm basing
Okay.
this off of, presidencies. Okay.
Okay.
Regardless of who you support politically, when Trump got in office, things changed. Like, it changed in society out here. Now, that doesn't mean that there wasn't a separation in opinions and groups like that. It's just that each side has gotten way too comfortable with saying and doing whatever they want. Both sides have gotten way too comfortable with trying to be right versus trying to actually make a difference. And it's leaked over into your general public society. Like, this is what I'll tell you about this, right? Seeing the American flag other than on a flagpole, it does something different. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, like, this is how I'll put it. Like, yesterday we went to the swimming pool, right? We went to, like, our gym. Me and Resale worked out. The kids went, and then we went to the pool they have. They have these gigantic pools and water slides and all this stuff at our gym. And I seen 2 guys wearing American flag swim trunks. The first thing that came to my mind is like, oh God, like, they're, radical Republicans. That's the first thing I thought. It didn't come to my mind that they just love the country. Nothing like that, because they've turned the American flag, into this, like, this radical side of thinking, versus it like being the umbrella that we're all under. Like,
right.
I have a friend whose husband went and bought, you could buy like your license plate for your car. You could buy like the college you graduated from. You can buy, whatever. Yep. And he bought an American flag one. And she was mad. And she was not mad because it's an American flag, but because now you see people with American flag license plates, you view them as this like radical, I'm a patriot, the country and the borders. And, that's how you view them now. And it sucks that it's that way now. Like, it's legit that way. Like, you see certain people and you just think that's how they are. I saw this couple at the pool yesterday and they just looked like they were judging everybody, like these older, and, no offense to listen to podcasts, but it was like this really older white couple, probably in their late 60s, 70s. And they were like in the corner of the pool. They were just sitting there looking. In my mind, and I know in other people's minds, they're probably like, God, look at all these, these Mexican kids, all these black kids. Like, that's just what I'm thinking. And I hate the fact that I even thought that way. And I did everything in my power not to think it. But it's just what's happened to society. They weren't causing any trouble. Right. Nobody else was causing any trouble. It's just that, society has like now, has everybody like, side-eyeing everybody, looking at everybody a different way, saying hi or saying, it's crazy now. Like, even yesterday I went to Cruzy's soccer game and, they were beating the brakes off this team, but you could hear some of the other parents like, how they were acting. Like everybody just seemed just like way more aggressive today. Like even if they're not doing anything physically to anybody, it's just like, I mean, I get, and this is no joke, I get flipped off driving at least twice a week, like maybe even more. And it's not even for doing anything. Like they just don't want you to be in front of them. I didn't cut them off. I didn't do anything. I put my signal on, switch lanes. I look at the rearview mirror, they're flipping me off. And it's like, for what? I'm driving 80. The speed limit is 65. I'm driving 80, but they want to go 100. And you don't get out of their way? Oh, you're getting the middle finger. You're getting stared at. And out here, a lot of people out here are starting to do that thing where they like jerk their car at you to make it look like they're about to hit you. It's getting crazy.
All right. So then, so then I got two questions for you. So then you said you're at the pool, and I hate to make this like, I'm not trying to go political, and I'm not trying to be like maybe racial, and I'm just curious because I'm going to be going back for the first time in a while. So like when you said you're at the pool and then you're kind of feeling like the side eye and stuff, were you feeling that before? Because I was, like, even when I was in the States, and I'm born there, right? And I lived there for a big chunk of my life. Is that like, it's just that minority insecurity, right? So like,
no.
Did you ever feel that before?
No, I didn't. Like, I mean, you know, I feel like back in the day, something would happen to make me feel that way, or to make anybody feel that way. Like, you know, you would see them, you would see somebody, you know, look at you weird, or roll their eyes, or suck their lip, like, you know, do something like that make you go like, you know, maybe there's some type of issue. But it's not. It's literally based off of like how someone looks now. Like, this is what I'll say about in the United States, right? I'll say 4 to 6 years, and look, people listen to this podcast probably ain't gonna like hear none of this and whatnot, but I don't care. Okay, about 4 to 6 years ago, looking at somebody and making an assumption was like the thing, like, you know, just an assumption, like, oh, they probably don't like me. It would just be like an assumption like that. And it goes both ways. A white person, black person, Mexican person, Chinese person, any other, people just think that in general, right? But today, it feels like there's almost a uniform for it. Like, I took Cortez to a soccer camp, and there was like 6 people wearing these 1776 shirts, like the U.S. Constitution. And it's
boy.
And I'm like, what? Like, you don't have to guess anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the thing that I think is what's kind of crazy. Like, you don't even have to assume anymore. You don't even have to guess. You don't even have to. It's like a uniform now. And I'm not just talking about that side. I'm talking about both sides. Like, you know, it's like, it's not really like, it's like, I see somebody who's a little like hippie-ish, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, like, relax. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's like, there's no subtleness to it anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, I have friends and people that are like LGBTQ, all the other letters. I have like that, but like, it's like it used to be subtle now, and now it's like, you know, boom in your face, but it's
in your face.
But and I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way. I'm saying it like it's boom in your face, not because I want to, but like just to show you up. Like, you know, like, I know you don't like this, so I'm doing this. You know what I mean? And I hate the fact that they feel that way. I hate the fact that they feel like they have to act that way. I hate the fact that somebody feels like they need to walk around with the Constitution on the back of their shirt. It's like, why do you have to people walk around with like freedom on their shirt? You know, I've told this story many times. Like, I got into it with a guy who was like, I'm a real American. And I said, well, there's no such thing. He was like, what are you talking about? I'm a real American. And I said, there's no such thing as a real American. There's only the two prerequisites to be an American is being born here or being a legal citizen. Those are the prerequisites. Like, you are not a better American than the man over here. You're not a.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a difference. Like, but it's also where you see a lot of people who don't deal with the issues that others deal with, making those decisions for them. I hate that. It's like a 80-year-old man saying, no, you can't, we don't want the rest of the country to be able to do this anymore. Buddy, you're 80 years old. You're almost out of here. Like, you're almost out of here. Like, what are you trying to make decisions for people in their 20s and 40s? Like, what? You're almost out of here. Why don't you retire and go enjoy your life? Like, I seen this, like, you drive down the street, and this is pretty popular out here as well. You could just drive down the street, and it'll be a person standing on the corner. Like, it'll be like 2 or 3 people just on the corner of an intersection with, like, signs, and it's like, and I'm looking at them. So I'm driving this neighborhood, right? It's these like 4 old ladies. I'm talking no less than 55, right? And they're standing on the corner with all these signs about stop teaching this, stop doing that, stop this, vote for this, do this, right? And all I could do was look at them and think to myself, y'all don't got grandkids or like your own kids that you could be hanging out with and like doing something better? Like, you're out here, fighting for people that don't even know you exist. Like, go home. Go text your daughter, call your daughter, or plan a trip to go see your real kids, to go see your grandkids, or you know what? If you really feel this strong about certain things, go volunteer. If you got 6 hours to stand in this Arizona sun, I know you can go find a building to volunteer in and help lead people in a direction that I just don't get it. Like, that's the only thing. But like I said, I don't let a lot of that affect my world anymore. Like, I don't vote anymore. I just refuse to. Now, I'm not saying that I won't again, and I'm not saying, but like, my wife hates when I talk about this. I used this example the other day, right? I said, there's nothing that goes on in this country, even at the minimal level when it comes to the government, that makes me feel like, wow, they're trying their best. Nothing. Like, I told Resale, I said, listen to me. I told my other friends too, I said, I have never, ever in my entire life heard anybody say teachers make too much money. I said, I have never heard, I said 100% of my entire existence, I have always heard teachers are underpaid, teachers don't make enough money, teachers need this. Nobody does anything to do it, though. Nobody agrees with it. Nobody disagrees that teachers need more, but the government, no one's doing more. They're not giving them more money. They're not providing them with the resources to help better deal with these kids. They're not doing anything to make it better. So I'm like, you won't even do something at that level? We have an educational department for our government. You're not doing something at that level? Oh, I definitely not going to think I definitely don't got time to listen to you talk about, healthcare and stuff. You can't even do something as little as that. Like, nah, don't worry. I don't trust you. You go ahead and do whatever you want, because what I realized is it don't matter what I think or what I say or who I vote for. People are going to do with the power, do whatever they want to do. That's just my opinion.
Maybe I shouldn't go tomorrow.
No. See, that's the thing. You should, because none of this affects your world. None of this affects my world. I won't allow it. Like, it's just, I know it's there, and I know if I need to go find it, I know I can go find it. But it doesn't affect my world whatsoever. I see people at work, they're looking at videos on their phone. Every title of every video they look at is like, America in a spiral. America is going downhill. Okay. I also work with people who say, you can't trust the media. I was on social media yesterday and I saw this guy say, don't trust the media. What? You're on social media? What are you talking about? Like, you can't even, you're so far gone, your brain doesn't even realize what it's doing anymore. Yeah. You're on media listening to people say, no, stay on my media platform, but don't listen to the other media platform. Like when you're citing your examples of stuff, when you say, well, so I saw this guy on TikTok, don't talk to me no more. Don't talk to me. If that's your point,
your argument's done.
Your argument's done. If your point of reference for whatever you're about to say next is, so I was on TikTok the other, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. Don't even bring it to me. It's all good. Don't worry about it, man. I'm good. That's just where I am like that. Like, I have people like that. This guy came to my office and was like, man, it's crazy how they finally figured out, the assassination of JFK. The CIA did it. And I said, when did they figure that out? Oh, 2 weeks ago. And I said, I'm on social media quite often. I've never seen that one time. No. They showed it on TikTok. They finally, buddy. If that was something that actually came out and was true, it would literally change the history of this. The history. It would change history. But you saw it on TikTok. Come on. Come on. Like, use your brains now. Actually, don't even use your brains. Man, just enjoy your life, man. Make sure you're healthy. Make sure your kids are doing well. Do your best to try not to, let your kids be involved in the world sooner than later. Limit these things. Limit things that go into your brain. We're not physically built to deal with this much information. We're not.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're not.
Like, I mean, me and Mike Cortez, we're having battles with him all the time. Like, things that he see and do and say, and he doesn't even know what it means. He just says these things. Like, the other day, he's like, oh, man, he's depressed. And I'm like, yo, don't joke about stuff like that. Like, right. That ain't, because he watches these idiots on YouTube, and they use words like depression as, like, slang. Like, oh, bro, I'm depressed. Like, they don't use it as, like, what it really means. And he does that. And I'm like, yo, don't joke like that. That's not funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, that's not a funny thing to say. And he's confused.
It's just like when we used to talk about this, like, you guys mentioned it not too long ago, but like the whole social media thing is like messed up our view of sneakers too. It's like we're all desensitized to everything. Like
100%.
Like, I mean, something as tragic as like a freaking mass shooting, like like people focus on it for like a little bit, and then it's gone. It's on to the next thing. It's on to the next tragedy.
Shootings.
It's on to the next release. It's on to the next sneakers. On to the next collab. Yeah. It's on to the next, major disaster. Heck, man.
When and we talked about this, is like the oversaturation of sneaker collaborations, right? When these brands are dropping 2 and 3 and 4 pairs at once with one release collaboration, and you have to decide which one of the 3 or 4 are the best one, it's too much now. Like, it used to be a collaboration was dropping, and if you either liked it, you liked it. If you didn't, you didn't. You didn't have options. It's almost like sneaker brands aren't even comfortable and have enough guts to stand behind what they make anymore. If you think this is a dope collaboration of what you made, then you just drop that one. But they can't take that risk anymore. They'll drop 3 and be like, look, they have to love one of the 3. It's like, no, that's not how it should go. A Concepts release should be like, ooh, I can't wait to see if Concepts drops a Nike a Dunk this year, or Asics or whatever. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be where it's like you get a New Balance. They open up a pop-up shop collaboration. They do a New York store collaboration, a Boston store collaboration. Then they do some other brand. Like, it's too much now.
But do you think do you think the amount that they collab is more about the fear of that one collab failing, or do you think that's just they're like a money grab? Because like for me, I see it as like, oh, they love Union Dunk, so let's release 4 of them because they're gonna want all 4 of them.
I see it as a little bit of both. Like, it's really hard to say. Like, let me tell you what I view the money grab is, right? So I thought about this the other day. People love telling me like, oh, it's all a money grab. And I'm like, not with Nike. Like, so this is what I'll say with like Nike. I'll say this about Adidas. I'll say this about Puma, all the other major brands, right? You can say it's about a money grab with them, but it's really not because they still have options to really make it a money grab. You can go, and this is where I look at boutiques and I look at these other little small shops as a money grab, like Kith and all that. Kith is a money grab, okay? Let me tell you why. I can go on Nike and I could go buy a Nike t-shirt for $32. I can go buy Nike shorts for about $35, $40. The fact that a Kith t-shirt can cost $109 or a pair of Kith shorts or can range anywhere from $150 to $200 is insane. Like, in order to buy this store's merch, Kith clothing may be high fashion and it may look dope, but it's essentially merch. It's merch. I don't care if you put buttons on it, zippers, a hoodie. I don't care if you could wear it to the Met Gala or you could wear it to go hooping. It's merch. Okay? But the fact, in order for me to represent a store that I like to buy sneakers from, that's where Kith, for me, originated. I like to buy sneakers, New Balances, Asics collaborations from you. Kith clothing, me buying Kith clothing came later. But now it's like, yo, that Kith hoodie fire. Oh, I'm sorry, $230? It's not that fire.
Yeah.
Like, that's the money grab to me. Rude or Rude, whatever, they did a collaboration with the Arizona Cardinals. The shorts, and I don't mean like thick shorts. They're dang near they're just shorts, advanced underwear, basically. Them joints were about $150. Like, you can go on Fanatics and the Coyotes team shop and buy a pair of Arizona Coyotes shorts for $50. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Essentially, I'm representing the Cardinals, but Rude touched these. You know, Rude decided where to put the Coyotes logo.
Well, I mean, the originator of that is Just On, man, with the NBA shorts and stuff.
Facts. Like, and it's becoming gross. Like, it's becoming gross and it's becoming embarrassing. Like, I have no confidence in these major brands who've done these collaborations anymore. I don't. Like, it's like, well, let's just see what they got. To me.
Yeah, they're running out of ideas.
Yeah, they're running out of ideas, and, you know, people love saying that, like, stories matter, you know? Stories, we're almost out of stories. Like, I know we've talked about this numerous times, and I appreciate everybody who listens to this podcast, and I appreciate it, but, like, we're almost out of stories. Like, what more? Like, I'm sorry, I don't have any interest in, you know, Fear of God Man's story. I don't. What your story doesn't do anything for me. Like, I'm not a part of your story.
It does. Yeah, it doesn't resonate with you.
Like, it doesn't resonate. Like, and I know I use this as the example all the time, but I watched Jordan shoot the last shot. Like, I remember where I was watching the last shot. You know what I mean? So it's like last shot 14s, I feel like I was a part of that. You know, when Jordan jumped in the air with the left hand and switched to the right hand, ducked under, won his first championship against the Lakers, won infrared sixes, I remember exactly where I was and watched that. A person like Joe Freshgoods and all them, God bless them. I love their work and I appreciate them. But their story doesn't hold any weight to me. It doesn't make me go, yeah, these are Joey Freshgoods. You know, he grew up in this neighborhood, and, you know, he had a rough time growing up in life, and, you know, so he designed this shoe for that. That doesn't do nothing for me.
But do you think that does something for someone else?
Maybe somebody from Chicago. So let me ask this question, Jay. You know how every year Nike, every year brands, they come out with like, Black History Month. They come out with the sneaker, Chinese New Year and stuff like that, right? So
Yep. Yep.
I seen the new Puerto Rico ones, right, for Nike this
Yep.
year,
Yeah.
and
The
one
Air
is like
Force, wait, the Air Force ones or the Air Max ones?
the Air Max ones.
Yeah.
Now, one is like orangish, I don't know, and one is
Mhm.
blue. Now, they
Mhm.
have their meanings to something in particular, right? And I
Mhm.
said to myself, now this is me not being Puerto Rican, okay? And at the same time, thinking to myself, if I was Puerto Rican, would I be able to look at that and know what that is? Like, know, like, oh, shoot, that's that's got to be represent. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then I thought, well, I guess it's sort of the easy way out, just throwing a Puerto Rican flag on everything. You know what I mean? I guess
Yeah.
I don't really know how to, like, I said this about the Be True collection. It's like, man, they don't even try. They just rainbow. Um
Yeah.
Shoe this
Anything
way,
rainbow.
laces rainbow. Vapor Max, make the sole rainbow colors. Like, I felt like they didn't put, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you see a Chinese New Year, when you look at the shoe, do you feel like when you look at it, you should see China? Like, you should be able to look at that and like see that this is something to do with China. You may not know the story, but you could tell there's something to do with China.
Yeah, and that's when they get super lazy when all they do is throw red on it,
Right.
right? Like it's the same. We've talked about this before. It's like, oh, it's Black History Month. Let me throw some dashiki print.
Right.
Like that doesn't. Yeah, that's not enough, right? Like you gotta really dig deep and find some sort of meaning, because if you just throw on a red shoe with gold speckles, that's that's not enough.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not enough in the sense of them being a designer, but then when I go back and think about it, I feel like now the Black History ones, look, I hated that's what they did for a lot of those. I hated that. And at the same time, I think if that's what the story I'm trying to represent, I think I would want somebody to look at it and be able to identify that.
Right.
Like, is it fair for a Chinese New Year to have a dragon on it and, you know, silk and, tassels or whatever they want to throw on it to represent China? Is it fair and the easy way out? It's probably not fair and it is the easy way out. But at the same time, I think if I'm walking with that on, I would want somebody to be able to see, like, this is China.
I think there's a real fine line, because as we're even talking about this, like there's certain pairs that I'm like, oh man, they did on that pair, but that pair was fire.
Yeah. Like the Jordan 1 low Chinese New Year, I thought that joint was fire
The one with the tassel around the
with the
ankle.
tassels and it was like silk and I thought that joint was immaculate.
Yeah, that one was done really well. And the one that we always talk about together too is the
Terracotta?
SB Dunk.
Oh.
No, the SB Dunk
Oh
um
yeah, the high.
high. And that you know what? That's just a red shoe with a gold outsole, and but that shoe's fire. But actually, that's a year of the horse. But there's no horse. Like there's no shout out to like the year of the horse on there. It's
Right.
just red, right? You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like if you look at it on the surface, it's like, man, that's a fire shoe. But if you like really dig deep and think about it, you're like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and even with that dunk, they put the extra laces in it that were like they were like a rope, sort of like
Yeah,
a
the rope laces, and then they have the tail kind of like lace lock that goes to the
yeah.
bottom, the
Yeah, so
coin.
like,
Yeah,
they did like little things like that. It's just really a fine line. Like it's really hard. When I look at those
it really is hard.
like to me with those Puerto Rican Air Max ones, if I have to read a whole story about it, you're not telling me nothing. But I guess I wouldn't know if I'm not Puerto Rican, so I guess it's not a fair assessment. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like I'm not Puerto Rican, so I guess it's not but at the same time, it's probably like I probably shouldn't wear these then. I have no Puerto Rican ties. I'm not Puerto Rican. But at the same time, if I was Puerto Rican, I would like to see other people, you know, I guess, care about my heritage, but at the same time, we're talking about sneakerheads here. Like, I would wear you could see, anybody wear a Black History Month sneaker. Don't give a crap about Black History, but if that sneaker's fire, it's fire. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like I said, man, it's just it's a lot that people really realize they're not really dealing with. Like, you can't afford to live anymore. Like, sneakers themselves are luxury goods now. Like the fact of I remember when 200 used to be a lot. Now,
That was one of my first episodes I did with one of the first episodes I did with you. I was like, oh man, 200, and then the next step is 250, and then it's 280, and then it's 300. Now it's like, oh, it's under 400. Yeah, that's all right.
yeah, like I was looking at orange lobsters the other day, and I was like, I think I'd pay 4 if I find them for 4, and that's insane. Like, it's nuts. Like we talked about, even with like things like that. So this is the one thing that I will say about, the country, America, being so capitalistic. Like it's always been built that way, off capitalism. It's about having who has the most, who has the best, how much you got, and whatnot. I used to always tell people, I said, I'm never worried about the country separating by race and stuff like that. I worry about the country separating by class, the haves and the have-nots. That's what's happening now, right? And and I'm not, me and my wife had went to go. Maybe I said this last episode. I don't know. Like, me and my wife went to go look at a house, and it was $1 million, right? And this house was like 3 minutes from my house. Now, I have a really nice house, but I thought $1 million house would be closer to the major city, a little bit more secluded. $1 million house out here is just in your regular suburban neighborhood. It's just got a little park over in the green belt. It's just a house now. And we walked into this house and we left, and I said, I always thought if we could afford $1 million home, it would look like $1 million home.
It's like MTV Cribs.
Yeah. But guess what? Now those houses, they're 5 and 8 million.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. So it's like, I always thought, when you would drive through those like really nice neighborhoods with the giant houses, you always thought like, man, those are $1 million house. One day I'm going to be over there. No. Yep. They just, they moved $1 million to the regular suburban neighborhood. You know what I mean? Now these ones are the 8 to 10 to 20. It's like, okay. Yeah. Now you move the bar too much. Like, I can't even reach a level of success without the bar being moved. When everybody was out here arguing about minimum wage, they had this mindset that we need to get them to raise minimum wage so we could afford something. No. They'll raise minimum wage, but then they're going to raise the thing that you're trying to afford. So yes, Chipotle worker, I am happy you make $15 an hour. But now my burrito went from $9 to $12.
That's what you know what? It's so funny you mentioned that, because someone said that to me the other day, and it was like, you know how much Chipotle costs me now? And I was like, man, what? Like, Chipotle is the barometer.
No, it really is, because me and my whole family would go. It used to be 48. We go now, it's 61. Like, and it's like you just don't even realize it. Like, it's like they just sneak it in there. They didn't raise minimum wage and say, all right, well, this year we don't need to make $20 billion. We can raise minimum wage and we can only make $15 billion this year. No. They're gonna still figure out how to maintain that $20 billion and give you what you want. And it's crazy. Like, we talked about the kids and stuff like that. I mean, we'll talk about resale shops. We'll get to talking. We'll talk about sneakers and stuff. We'll get to talking and bring some of this back up with sneakers and stuff.
Relax, people. We haven't chat. Greg and I haven't talked in a while.
Yeah, we haven't talked in a while. And, I like having conversations like this too. Like, I even thought about turning the episodes in a closet just to regular conversation versus sneakers, because like we said, I know that there are people who do not want to hear this, and people who refuse to believe it, and people that have built their entire identity based off sneakers. They don't want to hear it, but sneakers are not the same. It's not the same. It's okay to say that. It's okay to recognize it. But
because I mean, if your whole IG persona is built off of that, and all of a sudden sneakers go away, then what's left?
Yeah, it's like people will even when it's like, let me post my family, but it's still the umbrella of this photo is sneakers. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, hanging out with my fam today, but we all got matching Travis Scott t-shirts with matching Travis Scotts on, and like, that's the reason this picture is being posted. Like, anyways, we're doing top 10. Now, I know you did yours a certain way. I did mine a certain way. We're doing, I guess, a version, something under the umbrella of top 10 summer sneakers to us.
Okay, so when we get into this, we got to explain our reasoning, because this was hard for me because I didn't know which way to go. But we can talk about that when we get to the segment.
You know why this was hard for me? Because I didn't do me. I didn't do what I would wear. I didn't do.
That's unlike you. That's most of the time you always do the to me.
You're right. Now, here's the thing why I didn't do it, because I mean, if you don't listen to this podcast and if you don't see what I post most of the I'm wearing Vans. Like, I wear Vans almost all year, but in the summertime, it'd be rare. I'm talking rare you catch me in a Jordan. It's rare to catch me in a Jordan anytime, but in the summer, now, so when I did my list, Jay, I did top 10 sneakers I think y'all should wear in the summer. Like, I did top 10 sneakers I want to see people wear in the summer, not what I'm wearing.
Okay.
So I did what I feel like I want to see more people wear this summer. To me.
And this is based on 2023, correct? Because that's what I based it off.
We didn't say that.
I mean, this summer. I said this summer. Summer.
I didn't. Well, you know what? Let me see. You did 2023 sneakers?
No. I'm saying this summer of 2023.
Yeah. This year, I made a top 10 list of things I want to see more out on the streets this summer. That's what I did.
Correct.
Okay. Pickups. Let's do pickups. Okay, you got any pickups, Jay? Or what's the? I know you got pickups, but what's something you grabbed recently?
Oh man. Okay, so I just picked up a pair like 2 hours ago. On the cheap. It's a used pair. Oh no, sorry. It's brand new, but no box. And it's the Atmos Safari, the 2015, the one with like the yellow suede. The orange suede.
Wait. Yellow
Air Max 1 Atmos Safari.
Wait, Air Max 1 Safari. Oh, are you talking about the
It's like a suede toe box. One of the like classic pairs.
Hold on, let me see. Air Max 1 Atmos Safari. Let me see. I know what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it's brand new, no shoebox, but I got it for $80.
What? You might have bought fakes, huh? How you get that for $80?
So it's crazy because this is where people are gonna lose their minds. It's because, Greg, I'm telling you, sneakers are not a thing in China any longer. Your fan base, the people listening, might have already turned off this pod episode, but they for sure will turn it off, or they're just going to be like banging their head against the walls, because sneakers in China are really not the go-to any longer.
Let's get through pickups first. Let's not jump the gun.
So I got that for $80. Right. There is obviously like because the outsole is like the clear outsole, so there's oxidation on it, and then I think one of the shoes on the midsole, there might be like a slight crack that's like 2 centimeters long. So that's probably why it's so cheap. But I was like, oh man, this is like one of like the OG Grail pairs.
Oh yeah. So they're probably not wearable then.
So I messaged the guy because actually I sell my shoes through the website. So they're a consignment store.
Okay.
But every week they do 2 eBay auctions a week. So it's basically like the listing will run for 3 days, and then you just bid. You just bid until the time ends, and then it ended at like $78, and I put in a bid, and I got it for 80, and then the time ran out. So I was the last person to bid up, and I got the pair for $80. And I know that they're legit because I've sold my shoes through them before too. So
okay.
That pair I picked up both of the airships, the Every Games, the blue one and the red one.
You gonna wear those?
You know what? I haven't worn them yet, but I actually think I might wear them more than Jordan 1s because they're built different. Did you know that? Like where your pinky toe is, there's like a groove there that's like that they added an elastic part because I'm slightly wide foot, so actually Jordan 1 sometimes hurt my feet if I wear them for too long. But airships, they have like a elastic piece on the forefoot, and it kind of like flexes, so it's a little bit more comfortable to wear.
I'm gonna get a pair of ships. I just don't know. I had a pair.
Those gray ones are fire. I think those gray ones that just came out are super clean.
Yeah, shout out to the homie Rick. He sent me a picture of his gray ones he just copped, and you know, if I copped one, it would probably be that one. That would probably maybe the most right now. But I don't know. Like I don't wear my Jordan 1 highs. Like I got about 6 to 8 DS Jordan 1 highs, maybe more. Like I don't wear. You know, so I can't imagine wearing that. Like, if I don't wear this, I don't think I'll wear that. But you know,
I know. I heard you say that the other day. Is that like you haven't worn a pair of ones in a while? I actually haven't either, and I know that you probably think that that's a lie, but I haven't put on one in a while either, just because they're hard to put on, man.
Yeah, like, well, I put on the Lost and Founds when me and Cortez went to go watch Spider-Man because he wanted to wear his Spider-Man Jordan 1, so we both wore Jordan 1s then. And Lost and Found ones are the only ones that like I will put on and wear. Like I've put those on numerous times. Mine may be beat right now. Like if I could come across,
I haven't worn mine since the first day I bought them.
Yeah, like I've ran through them joints, but like also I don't feel like lacing them up. All these.
I know, me too.
All these DS pairs, I ain't got time to sit there and lace them joints up. Like I
me
told
too.
Cortez.
Facts. That's big facts right there.
Like I won't even
lace in the box.
Yeah, even if it's a pair of Vans. Vans got like 6 lace holes. I still won't lace it up. Well, no, put it back. Like I'll take the box out and be like, yeah, let me go ahead and wear these. Nope, no laces, no thanks.
I know. I think I'll change my fit because I'm too lazy to lace these up.
Yeah, and like what's funny is, and I know people that listen to this, like, and that's the thing. Like, if I'm gonna still do the podcast, I still want it to be a podcast about sneakers and the good and the bad and whatnot. I'm doing my best not to turn this into like a just complaining podcast, but like the podcast is about us. Like it's about where we are. Like it's about, you know, I'm just not in that space of like buying just to buy. Like there are people that I look on social media and I'm like, come on, man. Like, no, come on, man. Did you really want 14 Laney highs? Like, come on, man. Like, or do you just, you know, I don't know. And I'm not trying to judge anybody else and whatnot, but it's like, even if you did really want those, hey, my boy, I know they're going to be on sale. Just wait a little bit.
Yeah. Like, I totally get it. Like, I totally don't want to throw shade, but they can't be making the same YouTube money like they once were anymore. Like, doing the same content. I just can't believe it.
I mean, who knows? Like, it's not even about people with the content. It's about just people who just I see posts on social media. I'm just like, man, you really jumped up this morning on a Saturday morning and grabbed, you know, you really, like, you know, like we're so deep in the sneakers, like you could recognize what you don't have to move for anymore. Like,
Yeah.
and then once you make that recognition, if you're like, oh, you know what, I do like those a lot and I kind of want them, but, I'll wait. Man, all it takes for me to say is I'll wait, and that means I'm not copping, which is a good thing. Like, I'm not copping later. Like, I don't need that. It's all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So okay. So the two airships, and then uh the Atmos Safari, and
Uh,
like that's probably everything I copped in like within like the last 2 weeks.
yesterday I bought, shout out to the homie, the Lamellos, that Galaxy one. Or,
Oh, that one's kind of dope. Yep, those are kind of
yeah,
dope.
like, I have the last Mellows that, like, I would go to the gym and shoot around in and whatnot. And I was like, you know what? I mean, it's a really good shoe. I was like, I want a new version, and I like the colorways that have been coming out, but like, just nothing really like moved me or not. And I figure with his, just sort of how flamboyant he is, it's like I kind of feel like you gotta buy the craziest one. Like, to me, that's a representation of him. Now that idea of
Right,
like the
right.
mix of, sort of that what the galaxy and all that. Of course, that's not a Puma original idea, but it's like if you're gonna buy a LaMelo Ball sneaker, it may as well be the wildest one you
Yeah,
can get.
don't get a all the triple black
Yeah,
version of it.
yeah, getting a triple black LaMelo sneaker is crazy. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like,
Yeah, it's just like how people used to wait for like the most close like Mamba like snake like one when
yeah,
Kobe's would drop, right?
it's like, nah, that don't make any sense. So like, I got them joints yesterday. I don't know when they'll be here, and then I have bought these LA Air
You
Force.
still buy basketball shoes like that?
No, that's the only one I'll buy. I haven't bought. I mean, I don't include Jordans in that basketball sneaker category. Like, I've bought some ones. I bought Reimagined threes, Fire Red threes, things like that. But as far as like a shoe that's meant for basketball, that's the only one I bought. The LaMelo one is the last basketball shoe that like I was like put on my feet, go to the basketball court and shoot around.
Hmm.
So if I could find time to just go to the gym by myself and throw some shots up, then I'll be wearing a LaMelo Ball. Like, that's what I'll be wearing.
Hmm.
And you know what's
Hmm.
funny is it used to be Kobe's, but now I don't want to I don't want to ruin my Kobe's now. Like, all my Kobe's that like I would hoop in, and like I said, when I hoop in, they don't get as beat because we're not hooping outside. In the gym, look, you just wipe them down a little bit. You can still rock them joints out on the streets. All my
Yeah.
Kobe's that I would wear to the gym, I stopped. I completely stopped wearing them because it's like, look, they don't seem to be coming out with any
Oh
fire
my
Kobe's
gosh.
at all. That's
Those
one.
those those pure white ones are a disgrace.
Yeah, like they're not coming out with any dope Kobe's, it seems like. That's one. Two, whenever they do decide to come out with some dope Kobe's, it's going to be probably pretty hard to get. You know what I
It's
mean?
impossible to get.
Yeah, so it's like I have maybe about five, six pair of
Yep.
Kobe's. Those little five, six pair I got, I'm going to just keep them as good as I possibly can,
Yeah.
until whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I grabbed those, and then I grabbed these Air Force Ones, these Los Angeles Air Force Ones off sneakers. I don't know why. I just saw the LA on the back and was like, ooh, I just want something LA. But and you know what's funny? I convinced somebody else not to buy them. And I don't know why I did. They were like, yo, what you think about these LA Air Force Ones? I was like, an Air Force One is an East Coast sneaker. Like, do not come to me talking about a Los Angeles Air Force One. That's stupid. It doesn't make any sense to me. Now look, do people in California wear Air Force Ones? Sure. But if you're gonna put the actual LA, city of LA on the sneaker, that joint better be a Cortez. It better be a it better be something that is a represented or that represents that area. And Air Force One doesn't represent California at all. Stupid.
And yet you took his size because you bought
And
it.
then I just bought a 9.5 just to see. So that joint came in yesterday, but I didn't open the box. It's going back. Like Air Force Ones. It's a canvas Air Force One. I got time for that, man.
Did you ever cop the Cortezes?
No. I was going to, but I don't wear any of my other Cortezes. I would have just been buying those just off. I appreciate the attempt at something different.
You know what? I bet you would have liked them. I bet you would like them.
Oh, no. I'm 100% confident I probably would have liked them, but I don't wear my other ones anymore. Like, people look at me like, oh, Gray loves Cortezes. I do, and I have them. I just don't wear them anymore. Like, yeah. I don't think to put them on, and mainly because they're probably under a pile. Like, man, when I talk about there are so many factors to why I, like, you know what I said, and we talk about this, we'll get to that later. But pickups, that was different pickups. And so I got nothing else. And maybe a couple shirts here and there. I don't know, some pants. Other than that, that's it. So let's talk.
One thing that I will never buy another one again for like at least six months to maybe a year is hats. I am so disgusted by how many hats I own.
Yeah, you know what? Sorry,
I feel sick. I feel absolutely sick.
I bought 2 hats. That's what I bought.
So, oh my God. I cannot do the hats anymore, bro.
I can't. And these 2 hats that I bought are my first hats that I've bought in. I mean, I grabbed a couple Supreme hats, but like I don't really count those. I can't remember the last time. I I bought a fitted hat. Like, I can't. So I bought 2 and they were on sale for $30. And that's partly why I bought them. I really do like them. And they were $30. The price of hats are stupid now. Like, stupid high. I have 2 gift cards to Lids. 2 gift cards with $25 each on them. I thought $50 was enough to buy a fitted. Nope. I went online. I loaded the gift cards online. I put a hat in my cart, applied the gift cards. I still owed $9.30. I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm sorry. I still owed 11 something. I said, wait a minute. I got $50 in gift cards and I still owe almost $20. I didn't buy it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I just got them in my wallet. I'm just keeping them joints. Like, I have no idea what I'm going to do with those gift cards because the fact that I had is $60. I've seen some for $67 is insane. It's
at its highest peak during COVID. You remember how much we were spending on hats? Like, people were selling hats on eBay for like $200, $300.
Man, insane. People were selling the pins that came on the hats for hundreds of dollars. Like, I am so sick of hats. Like, they're everywhere in my closet.
I know.
I bought containers specifically for my hats. It's still not enough. And then what sucks is that when I put them in the containers, I don't want to put them back in it. So I wear the hat, take it out, leave it on the floor. Get another hat, leave it over here. Get another hat, leave it over here. And then I got like 15 hats scattered throughout the house. Like, as many.
So I'll tell you, like, you know how like, you're always like, sneakerheads are like the worst kind of people. Like, I totally agree. Like, during that COVID time, I had a buddy, like even Andy sent me a couple hats. And then my buddy in Virginia, his name is Juan. He listens to the podcast. He's a good dude. But I would get them online and I would send them to his house and then he would send it to me. And I paid for the shipping and everything, but he would send it to me. And this is when I knew I had a problem. I would literally open like the package, like super excited. And I'd be like, oh, this hat is fire. I want to go put it away. I have the exact same one. And I'm like, what?
Yep.
Like, issues. Like, I'm like, oh, it's the exact same hat, the same side patch, different color under brim. Like, and that's when I was like, okay, you gotta stop because this is too much.
No, during COVID, when we were working at home and stuff like that, hats were coming to the door ridiculously, like all day, right? I would open up the box and put the hat on immediately and wear it throughout the house all the day because we were just at home all the time. I would wear the hat immediately, yep. Right? The exact same thing happened to me. I don't know how many times as you just mentioned. I went in my thing and I just copped one. Skate sent me some hats and I was like, he sent me some pictures of hats. I was like, oh, I need them. I was like, ooh, got them. They came in. I put them in my hat case thing. I was like, wait a minute. I know I don't already have this hat. Like, yep. Literally, I got about maybe eight to 9 hats of doubles. On accident. Not because I said I want
exactly. On accident. No, exactly. It's on accident. It's all by accident.
And I'm like, dude, this is stupid. And then you know what's funny, right? Is that even the hats that I bought, you know, when like they were coming out with all these themes and all these colors and all this stuff, majority of those hats I don't even know how to wear. All these colors, all these burnt oranges and burnt sienna and all this stuff. Like all those hats that I bought like during that period of time when you're just so high on it, like you're just high on
I
like
know
the
exactly.
hat. I'm sitting here with like orange and black LA hats, and I'm like, this looks stupid. This is like a San Francisco Giants hat with LA. Like I'm not wearing this hat.
Yeah,
But when I
yeah,
saw it, I
yeah,
was like, oh, I need it. I mean, get this
yeah.
garbage out of
Right.
here. I started buying hats. So like,
Those will go good with my shattered backboards.
yeah, you start thinking things like that. And then what's crazy is no joke. I started buying the hats for the holidays. Like I been stopped buying like, ooh, the sneaker, the Christmas pack. You know, we been stopped doing that for
Yeah.
sneakers.
Yep.
So then I
Yep.
started doing that for
Yep.
hats. I started buying the Christmas pack for the hat, the Halloween pack, the St. Patrick's pack. I started buying all those, and then when those holidays come up, I don't even know where it's at. I don't even know
Nope.
where it's at.
And I wouldn't wear it because I'm like, that's kind of tacky. Like,
Bro,
it's kind of tacky wearing this.
dude, hold on. This is what's funny, right? Those hats that were deemed like the Christmas pack and stuff like that, they don't even have anything Christmas on it. I got so many red hats and green hats. I don't know which one's the holiday hat. Like,
Yep.
like I don't know which one. There's no snowflake on it. There's no Christmas tree. There's nothing. There's nothing that identifies this as Christmas
Oh my.
except that it's red. So at that time when I bought it, like, oh, I need this red Christmas hat, but I got 50 other red hats. So then when it's like, if I did want to wear the Christmas one, I don't remember which one it is. Like, so then I just grab a red hat.
Why are we like this, Greg?
Don't know, but I'm doing my best to get out of it. Like I feel like I am, and I ain't. But then I go and buy Air Force One. So I don't know. You know, life is in shambles. Anyways, let's talk sneakers now in China and stuff like that. So you know, for those who don't follow, you know, obviously follow Shanghai Soul on Instagram, and you know, I feel like, you know, I'm gonna give you the credit for this. Nobody else may will, and somebody else may not give you the credit for this.
Okay. Now you got my attention.
But you were the first to me on social media to, maybe you weren't doing it on purpose, but even indirectly showing where sneakers were headed. The pictures that you will post showing sneakers sitting on shelves and things like that. It used to be viewed by, at least by me and a lot of people, when you would post those pics, is dang, China is where it knows how to do it. You know, it was viewed like, oh man, like people would say like, I wish I was in China, man, because sneakers are sitting there. They didn't look at it, and even me at the time, we didn't look at it as a, you know, a future outcome. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I never looked at the pics you posted and thought it's gonna happen here. We looked at it as an isolated China thing. You know, man, I wish I could be there and cop. You know, oh man, that's dope that those are sitting there. We viewed that as a China thing, not as a culture, sneaker
like
culture.
It was almost like an alternate universe kind of thing.
Yeah, and all the social media sneaker pages would repost your pics and, you know, things like that, and, you know, show what's sitting in China, the pics that you would take, pictures that people would send you, you know, whatever the case may be. And that sort of became a thing on social media, was like seeing what was sitting in China for a long time.
Yep.
It became such a thing that like you really didn't pay attention that it was happening here. Like it was still like, nah, it's just that shoe. Just that shoe is sitting. And then it turned into that shoe was. And then it turned into that one. And then next thing you know, there were pictures from the US of entire walls of retro Jordans. And you're like, wait a minute.
Yep.
Now, they may not be the most desirable ones, but it's still a crazy thing. Even the ones, even OG high ones, it's like, wait a minute, they still got those? And regardless if they got a full size run, it was just something you didn't see often. You would walk into a store and there'd be plenty of Air Maxes, Air Max 270s, Air Max 1s, Air Max, whatever the Air Maxes, plenty of variations of Air Maxes. And then it'd be like a little section of Jordans, you know, maybe like they got a size 14 left in this and a, you know, 8 in this,
Yep.
you know, and then
Yep.
like all the like sub, you know, models, the Westbrooks and, you know,
Yeah.
things like that. But then when you started going into the store and like, oh wait a minute, y'all still got Lenny ones? Wait a minute, y'all got a few pairs of these left? Y'all still got this?
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like it was nuts. So talk about what's the difference out there, what's been going on out there with sneakers.
Man, so like I don't know how to say this without um I don't know how to say this so that people will understand. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
because people didn't believe me back then, and now it's even worse. It's worse to the point where um like there's just no desire for sneakers.
Right.
Like things will drop on the sneakers app and it'll immediately say sold out, which is like what they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
After I think I posted about that the other day, it'll be like sold out. But then you refresh the app or you close it, you come back in like 30 minutes and there's a full size one.
Happens
Like,
all the time.
yep. And then when you go to the store, they're like putting them out early even. Like they're not even coming out on the day anymore. They're like coming out like a week early. Like those shoot, I just posted it the other day. Gosh, I don't remember. It was like those white Jordan ones that kind of have like that cork sploosh on it.
Oh yeah,
You know
those
what I'm talking about?
Najis or Visions or
Yeah, like
something.
Vibrations of Niger,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Vibrations of Niger, whatever. Like those came out a week early. Like I was just walking around, I just saw them, and I was like, "Hey, are these for sale?" And he's like, "Yup." And I was like, "Huh, that's weird." Like I looked at Sneakers app, and it's like next week.
And see, I never even took that in consideration because I've seen that a few times out here, and I've had people telling me that like, "Yo, bro, they're already selling these out here. They don't even come out for 2 weeks." And I didn't even put two to
Yeah,
two together. That could be a tactic as well, because
yeah,
if you really, really wanted those, you probably would have copped in because it made you feel like, "Ooh, I got them early."
that's this is how crazy it is, Greg. Is that retail stores are trying to help you because they know, because that's what sneakerheads do, and that's what resellers do. You get them early, right? It's like,
All right.
oh, hey, why don't you cop them now? Cop them now because at least that way you get them a week early before sneakers. It's like this is what they're resorted to. It's whack. It is so whack. Like it is so dumb. Like how are you gonna try to like create your own hype like by leaking them early? It's like it's not, you don't even need the back door anymore. You just get them retail a week early. Like what the hell is that?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I don't even know if backdooring is a thing anymore. Like I haven't seen anybody complaining about people backdooring sneakers in a really long time. Like in about maybe about
And
a year at least.
yeah, so we have this resale site called Poison, and it's like the StockX equivalent. And so, for example, let me what was the pair? Oh, okay. So let's just go with the green toes, right? Those Celtics ones, the ones that like people are like,
Yeah.
the ones that look like the DNP pack, right?
Yep.
So those came out, and the retail is. I'll just go by R&B. So it was 1399 is the retail price, which is crazy because they even jumped. All the new Jordan ones have jumped up by $15 over the past year. So it's 1399 retail. If you go on Poison and you look at how much they cost on release day, mind you, this was not like a month later or anything. It was like on release day, it was already 119. So it was $30 less than retail.
And that's crazy.
On release day, right?
Yep.
So it's like, so StockX, so Poison is essentially, all authentic pairs, supposedly, right? And they're already $30 under. Why would I ever go for a sneakers release? Like, why would I ever walk into a store and be like, let me get these for retail? You're ripping yourself off.
100%. Because, and that's what's funny. Like, it sounds crazy to say this, but I can't pay retail anymore. Like it depends. Like we've gotten so knowledgeable and whatever in the sneakers that like I couldn't imagine going and paying retail for for something, knowing that like it's going to be cheaper, it's going to be on sale, or it's already cheaper somewhere else. Like you see, like you said,
you'd be foolish. You'd be a fool. You'd be a fool to be like, well, yeah, let me just give Foot Locker my money, and I'll just pay like $30 over just to get them in hand right now. Like,
yeah, and like you can identify sneakers now that will be at the outlets. Out here, we already know. Like you can see something and be like, nah, when it's at the outlet, I'll cop it. You know what I mean? Like sneakers are dropping in price. So like Andy has sent a picture of the Air Max 97s, the blue ones. I forgot what they're called. Electric blue Vault, but it's an OG colorway. I mean, them joints are a classic. They were 89. And I said 89 with free shipping. And you know what I said to him? I said, they're almost there. Them joints are regular 170. Them joints are regular 170 and sitting at 89, and I still went almost there. When they hit 67, then we're talking. That's what I said. Like, and that's just where it is. Now, in China, right? When we were talking, and we talked about this a few times about sneakers out there, China, and I had my own theory, and you had your own reasoning, and a lot of it was like a and me and George still have this battle, sort of. It's like, it was like back then when you and I were talking about it, it was because COVID, it was because of this, and I viewed it as that I view Chinese culture values are way different than ours. And I viewed it as just the people of China who are in the sneakers, they at some point are like, this isn't a value to us. They value certain things to us. See, out here, we value who has the most, who have like, you know what I mean? Like you can live in the crappiest house in the neighborhood and you'll see the $150,000 Escalade outside. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's
all about the impression, right?
Like I know people that like I would label poor, not like you're poor homeless, but like you're not even middle class yet, but you got Gucci loafers, huh? Like that's America to me in a nutshell. Like you will see two regular human beings, public members of society, arguing in the grocery store for whatever reason, arguing. It's almost a guarantee one of them is gonna say, "Yeah, you broke. I got more money than you." And both of them are probably about the same, or if not, both broke. But you'll see that. You'll see videos of people online fighting in the airport, fighting places, and somebody pull out a handful of cash. Yeah, you wish you had this. Stupid stuff. What do you think?
I totally get it.
What do you think it is about in China that has shifted that dramatically with sneakers?
Okay, so when sneakers blew up, it was behind the U.S., right? So, like, what would you say, 2015, 2016?
Yeah.
Is when sneakers kind of went, like, crazy in the States?
It went stupid.
Right, it went stupid, right? So, like, I would say, like, 2017, end of 2016, 2017 is when sneakers started blowing up in China. Like, to the point where and this is what a good segue, like, we had a whole street dedicated to resale shops. A whole street. It was a whole street of like, just imagine, like 5 flight clubs just opened up.
Crazy,
right? And then, the sneaker apps started blowing up, and then reselling was crazy. It was harder to get shoes in China than it was in the States. 100%. I know people are like, that's impossible, but it was impossible to get shoes in China. It was so hard and it was so expensive. It made sneakers actually like really not fun. It wasn't a pleasant experience for anyone that was really like into sneakers. Like even SneakerCon came out. That's when SneakerCon came out. Like they were like, oh man, we better hop on this Asia wave right now and you know, promote the shit out of it. And then COVID came, and then people weren't going out, and then people stopped buying, and once restrictions were lifted and like people were able to go out again, like people just didn't care about sneakers anymore. Like it just like came and went, and it didn't matter what was happening in the States anymore. It's kind of like people like woke up from their like hypnosis. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like they just, you know that scene in the movies when people wake up and like rub their eyes and are like, what? Like, where am I?
That might be a really good example. That's what it feels like.
That's exactly what happened. Like people like were like, oh, we can go out again. It's like, nah, I'm not. I don't know why I have 50 pairs of sneakers in my house anymore. Like it's not, and that's when I said like it shifted to like more expensive things, right? But then when you're into more expensive things, you're targeting less people, right? So like sneakers was on that kind of borderline cusp of like, oh, it's not too expensive, but yet it is kind of expensive, right? You know, because once you start like flipping, you know, Goyard bags and Rolexes, like now you're in a different tax bracket,
right?
You know? And the people that can play in that field are much less. And so that's what happened, man. Like people kind of just woke up from their fog of like needing sneakers and lining up. And don't get me wrong, the ones that are still limited still go for a lot.
Yeah, of course.
But that's because you're always going to have those hype beasts, right? It doesn't matter. Or like the resellers that want the top 1%. But before, when like 70% of everything that came out was being resold, it's only like 2% of it now. And, you know, there were places that the reimagined 3s were still on shelf.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that. I've seen a couple on shelves out here. Like now they're, you know, weird sizes, but I've seen them before out here.
I'm just trying to think like,
but see, this
a bunch of like the Ama Manure, most of the Ama Manure collabs that recently came out. Maybe not the 4s right away, but you know they weren't too bad on resale. Like after the first day,
yeah,
like the 2s sat, all the Balvins sat. So I think people just kind of like woke up and was like, why am I spending all my money on this?
Well,
and it just kind of stopped.
So like that's funny you say that too, is because like, you know, one thing I noticed like watching, you know, NBA games, right? I'm watching, you know, playoffs, just regular NBA games and stuff like that. And now sitting courtside, obviously, however you got your ticket, whether you paid for it or you promotion, whatever the case may be, it ain't cheap. Okay.
Right.
When you look at the feet of the people sitting courtside, it don't matter what city it's in. You know what you're going to see. Travis Scott's, Off-White ones. You're not going to see the cheap stuff. And what's funny is that like sneakers had got so bad, and it's still like this with certain models and certain things, but like it got to the point to where, oh man, and not to say that Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all that stuff should be that expensive, but they've had the longer history of being that expensive.
Right.
So it's like
they have the reputation.
They have the reputation of it. So it's like it's funny because it's like somebody could be wearing some Dior sneakers, just the regular Dior brand sneakers, and them joints could be like 500, but the kid over here could be wearing reverse mocha ones that are like 1100. You know what I mean? And it's like it's crazy because it's like those type of sneakers, Gucci and all that stuff doesn't mean anything anymore to me. Like it used to be like you know, like, oh dang, he got Gucci sneakers on, them is crazy, them is a lot of money. It used to be that way. Now they just tacky. Like now they're just tacky. I wear Gucci dress shoes for work. Now that's because of my wife. My wife likes Gucci loafers, so she'll buy me Gucci loafers and stuff like that for work and stuff like that. I'll wear the dress shoes. Like that's fine, but that's even still too much money. Like it's a ridiculous amount of money for that when it's like, yes, I got a pair of Gucci loafers right here that are about $1,000, but I also have this sneaker right here that I can sell for $2,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's crazy at that point that we've reached for that. Now you brought up the point too of resale shops fading away. Hello?
I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
why would you? It's the same thing as sneakers. Like, it's actually like really messed up because you'll go to a sneaker shop. Let's say I walk into Nike, right? And man, I'm trying to think like what's a pair that kind of flopped. Let's say Wash Pinks.
Okay.
All right, so like you go into Nike, Wash Pinks, 1399, and it's like, let me check on Poison real quick. 1250. I'm not gonna buy retail. Walk down the street. Oh, let's see what kind of heat they got at the resale shop. Like 1,500 for the Wash Pinks. What the heck? Like that's even more expensive than the retail shop down the street, and I can get them there.
Oh,
or
yeah.
I can just get them on. Or I can get them online for
Heck?
15 bucks cheaper on Poison. Like, why the heck would I do that? And there's no reason. And so because of that, they're all fading out. They're all dying out. Like no one's spending money at these stores anymore because even if you were to pay resale, people have caught on to the idea of back in the day when the whole online buying was kind of new for sneakers and stuff. People were like, I just want to see them in hand, right? Like I'll pay a little bit extra to see them in hand.
Right.
But the whole digital marketplace has already become the norm, where it's like, oh, I got to pay $40 more to see them in person. Nah, F that. I'll just get them online and I'll wait for 3-5 day shipping.
So this is what's funny, right? You just said this right now, and I picked my phone up real quick just to check my messages, make sure my wife didn't text me. And on Instagram, the homie Say It With Your Kicks just made this post, right? And it's from Soul Retriever. Now, so you know how the DMP 11s are getting ready to come back out?
Yep.
Okay, this is what he just posted. Now he reposted it.
Oh, is it? I think I posted it on my story. Is the one where it's like the pack used to cost $250 and now
insane. Yep. So for those who may not have even been alive or even been around or into sneakers, the DMP pack was the black and gold Jordan 6 and the Concord 11 with the gold Jumpman in the back. You would get
probably one of the most iconic packs, wouldn't you say?
Oh, 100%. You would get both of those shoes for $295. That was the first time that I was willing to pay resale for anything in my life. I went to Flight Club to pay $500, and when I say, hey, I got $500 for you, they went and whatever reason came back upstairs and said, oh, you got $600. I was like, wait a minute, what? I was like, you have them right here for $500. They were on the phone with the person who was consigning them, and he was trying to get more money from me. I was like, oh, I'm out of here. That entire pack was $295, and that was 2006. This year,
at that time, if you told me I had to spend $300 for 2 pairs of shoes, I probably would have been slapped in half by my parents.
Now,
would have been like,
that's what's crazy. That's what's crazy is that's expensive. That was expensive. The Jordan 11, expensive. The Jordan 11 by itself this year is going to be $230.
I know.
One sneaker, $230, almost about 15 years ago, was $295 for 2 pairs, 2 iconic pairs,
special packaging.
Oh my god,
all that stuff too.
A gold box that used to open up like a sandwich, like that joint used to open up. Yep. Oh my gosh! Like the only issue that used to be with that pack was like, where are you gonna put it in your closet? Because the box was so huge.
Oh, it took up so much space.
One Jordan 11 this year is going to be $230. I can't. It's crazy.
You think they'll sell out? Oh,
100%. This was going to happen, right? Nike is going to make the traditional 1 million+ pairs or whatever it is for these, right? But those tactics come in place then that we talked about earlier. Because, well, let's go back to what you had said earlier about the sneakers app. When like you go on there, it'll say sold out. Like while my screen says sold out, Georgia's screen will still say like sitting. You know what I mean? And then you refresh it, and then it's like, oh, now the price is back up. It went from sold out to now the price is back up.
Exactly.
And it could be a combination of things. It could be a lot of people copped and then realized they didn't want it and canceled it, and they put them back up. It could be a few things that it could be, but I know what it is. Like it's putting you in that sense of you missed out. Dang it, I really needed these, I really wanted these type thing, at least even for a little while. Because I've seen it last 5 minutes where it says sold out, then you refresh and they're back up. I've seen it last, a few hours to where you're like, nah, they've been sold out. And like Ryan will text and be like, no, they're still on there. Then I'll go on there like, what the heck? It'll be like a full size run. When it comes to these, they're going to have to have tactics for these. Concord 11s are the most iconic sneaker of all time to me. It's the most recognizable. It's one that even if you weren't into sneakers and things like that, people recognize. They remember it.
Yeah.
But when they changed the patent leather, it took away from it a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the high cut it's not as sleek. Now the 11s are already a big shoe, but when you add that high patent leather on it, it just looks bulbous.
Yeah, it did something. It did something to the toe box too. Like it's just huge. And then the Jordan 11 itself. Man, how do I put this without sounding offensive? Like the Jordan,
not that comfortable.
The Jordan 11 used to be like, and I'll say Concords, I'll say Breads, I'll say Space Jams, I'll say Columbia 11s, whatever. They used to be reserved for like the elite sneakerhead. Like
they were like the Lamborghini of sneakers.
There you go. That's the best way to put it. They were like the Lamborghini of that's that example is phenomenal. The
trademark that.
Jordan 11 used to be the Lamborghini of Jordans, and you could say sneakers. The 11 now is like just the Dodge Charger now. Like, it's still fire. Like, that joint's still fast. That joint's still dope. But anybody can get one. Everybody got one. Like, even those colors that they've released in the last, few years, they weren't bad colors. Some of them are like, no joke, 10 plus years late. But then when you started seeing I'm trying not to sound offensive. When you started seeing the Dusty Cat with them, like, the cat that was like, I don't know how to put it. Like,
but I know that this annoys you too. Is that like when they drop a colorway and everything, like, just give us what we want, give us gammas, and I'm like, give me a break, man. Like,
oh
like
my
that.
gosh, I couldn't believe people saying that. I'm thinking to myself, like, first of all, why are you saying this?
People didn't even like gammas when they came out.
Don't get me started on that. I talked to George about that. He was like, yo, gammas. I was like, gammas were being trashed. Then all of a sudden, at some point, everyone was like, them gammas ain't too high. I'm like, you guys hated gammas. Like, hated gammas. Look, man, in order for people to justify certain things, they come up with these excuses at times.
Yeah, excuses.
So it's like, yo, them joints is alright, but nah, when they release the gammas, then let me know. You ain't copping, no. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I seen somebody in the I forgot what shoe was posted. I'm trying to think. I don't remember what it was. Somebody posted a new pickup. And I seen in the comments, which I think I just haven't recognized and seen in a really long time. Somebody put in the comments, and it's funny we're doing this list today. Somebody put, oh, those are must needs for the summertime. I used to say that to myself a lot. Like, I used to say like, oh, for the wintertime, need those. Whether I bought them or not, I didn't even wear them for the winter or something. Like, it was just these things that I would say in these mantras and these mottos that I would say to convince myself to buy these things. Like, need that for the summer. I didn't even, it's just crazy stuff. like it's nuts. Like, what I realized for myself, and I thought about this the other day. You know where I realized for myself and even George for a bit when it started to turn. If you listen to this podcast from episode 1 through whatever, everyone knows how high we are on Jordan 1 lows, the OG shape.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't cop bleach corals. We didn't cop that Carolina blue one. We didn't cop that Marina blue one. We didn't cop the starfish one. We didn't cop any of them. That's when I knew, like, uh-oh, we're not even buying our bread and butter anymore. Like, I'm not even, if we're not losing our minds to cop the bread and butter, then it's cooked for us. Now, black toes, oh yeah, I better have a pair of black toes on deck. But, that's an OG colorway. You know what I mean?
Are you still copping like multiples of stuff anymore or no?
Heck no. Like, the last time I copped something that I thought I needed doubles of, I can't even remember. Like, I can't remember. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? The only thing I bought multiples of is Panda Dunks. I got 3 pairs. I got 3 pairs because I think it's one of the greatest shoes of all time, and I've beat one up really bad, so I got backup pairs. Like, that's the only one.
So like that's become your like white on white Air Force One.
Yeah. If I had a version of that, of a Nike that I would wear on a regular basis, it would be that. Like, it's so funny when you talk about sneakers, because when black and white starts getting clowned on social media, we're doomed. Like,
it's kind of ridiculous, isn't it?
Like, cool. Like, to me, if you don't like Panda Dunks, then you don't like dunks. Because when we start trashing black and white, like,
where can you go from there?
Like, the black and white is, it's just in every sneaker. A sneaker will come out in a black pair and a white pair. If you start making fun of black and white because you're like, it's boring, it's just plain, we're doomed. Like, we're doomed. Now, because to me, it's like, no, you don't like dunks then. You don't like dunks. If you're going to sit there and say, yo, it's just black and white, what are you trying to say? That one's just white and red. That one's just blue and white.
Yep.
That one's just orange and white. What are you talking about? That's why I don't take nothing for nobody says. Every single agenda right now is trying to make Adidas Sambas the next black and white dunk, Panda Dunk. That's like on everyone's agenda right now. Dude, there are Sambas everywhere. Sambas.
Same thing. It's like, what are you gonna do? Say the same thing about Stan Smith shell toes. Oh, black stripes with the white shoe. It's like,
what are you exactly? Like, they'll wear all white Air Force Ones and trash Pandas. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
like people. You listen to like people like DJ Clark Kent talk about how the Air Force One all white is just the greatest of all time, but then he says a black and white dunk is stupid. What? Like, you're just making up stuff now. Like, you're falling into these made up narratives. I see like Nice Kicks, I seen like BR Kicks, I seen all these pages like, yo, are Sambas the next it sneaker? Where are you getting this from? Like, you're just making up stuff. I seen Sambas the other day for 50% off on the Adidas website. If Adidas can't sell Sambas at full retail price, it's not. Like, it's stupid. Our Sambas the next thing. Look, I'll say this about resale shops, right? Resale shops are like
So this is what's okay. So I know you're gonna talk your point, but it's like my question is, it's like, so what do you is? I see it happening in the States a little bit, but do you think it's gonna go full blown like it is here? And then what have you noticed about resale shops in the States right now?
Let me tell you this. What I've noticed about resale shops is that, like, the attraction to resale shops are the shops themselves. Now, that's sort of how it's been for a really, really long time. It's like Urban Necessities in Vegas. Mm-hmm. It's more of a...
It's almost like a tourist attraction.
It's a tourist attraction. All of them have turned into tourist attractions. When your shop to resell sneakers has to look like when you have to make a resale shop look beautiful and attractive to resell sneakers, to me, you're in trouble. Because the
Mm.
essence of reselling used to just be out of the back of your car, post on Craigslist, post on that. Like, it used to just be that. The essence was, I have something that you want, I have it here. I see resale shops, they got Supreme arcade machines in there. They got full court basketball hoops now. They got all
Yeah, I've
these
seen some
things.
of that too.
They
I've
got
seen that
all
before.
these things to just make you be able to say, I went to that shop today. Yeah, I visited Urban Necessities. Now here's the thing. What will always work for those shops is that, hey, if I go to Vegas and I visit a Urban Necessities, I can cop a Urban Necessities t-shirt for $35. That's fine.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's perfectly fine. Hey, we didn't sell 100 pair of sneakers today, but we sold about 50 t-shirts today at $35. We made some money today. Sneaker shops to me have become like they're almost like a, and this is thinking really granular, like they're like car dealerships almost. Like,
Hmm.
I come in there and I buy something really nice, but I'm gonna trade it in later. Like, I'm trading this back in. Like, I'm gonna sell this back to you and walk out with something nice again. But don't think,
But I'm gonna lose like 80%
yeah,
of the
yeah,
value.
yeah. But don't think what I'm buying today, I'm keeping forever. No, no, I'm buying this today. I'm gonna rock this joint till I feel like I need a new pair. Then I'm gonna sell it back to you, and I'm gonna walk out here with another one. Like, it's just this rotation cycle. Nobody collects and hoards sneakers like we do no more. You're not gonna convince me that the generation behind you has as many sneakers as us. You'll never,
Yeah. Yeah.
never, never.
So
This,
do
this.
you so okay, so why would someone in the States not cop from StockX and still go to a resale shop? Or is that just not happening? Like, people aren't going to resale
Well, you
shops.
know what's funny is that, like, I seen like this resale shop out here, Rerun. They posted all these things, like, for sale, all these brand new sneakers, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, and now I don't know how they got them, because they got to pay a premium too to get those sneakers. They may pay
Yep,
800,
yep,
but they're gonna sell them to me for 1300,
yep,
right?
yep.
What sucks with that is, with resale shops, the market is so low now that they're almost stuck with this inventory, because
Fact. They're
you
stuck with it.
you go on Rerun, and not just to throw Rerun under the bus, but any resale site, they'll have a Travis One high for 1100. And these prices ain't accurate, but I'm just saying, 1100.
Yeah,
You go on
yep.
StockX, it's only 850. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because it's like, because I'm thinking to myself, why don't you just sell that on StockX? Oh, but you can't, because you'll be losing money, like, because it's cheaper on StockX
Yeah,
than what you paid,
yeah.
and now you're stuck with it. I said this the other day on the last episode. It's weird to go in there and see like pre-owned Travis Scotts for sale already. Like, if I copped a Travis Scott and I wore it, it's mine forever. Like,
Hmm.
I'm just like, wait a minute, who bought this Travis Scott, rocked it, and now didn't want it anymore? It's those
Right,
it's those who don't look at sneakers how we look at sneakers. Nike
right.
is not a money grab. Nike cares about having somebody involved in their brand and their community and culture forever. When I said people like start looking at other brands, I'm looking at Ling Nings and stuff like, ooh, them is kind of crazy. Like, you just start venturing off into other things because everything has just become stale. It's not cool anymore. It's not special anymore. Like,
Or like what you were talking about, Kobe's. We can't get our hands on them, so you know what? And I know you see me post them, and you probably seen their social media, but that's serious player only. Like, yeah, does it look like a Kobe? Yup, it sure does. But guess
oh
what?
yeah, I saw you
I can
posting that.
I can afford it, and they feel good, and they're really good shoes, and they're doing dope things, and it's like, well, sorry, Nike, like, you kind of screwed yourself,
Yeah,
you know?
it's gone that way. But, like, like I said, man, when it just comes to like all these brands, all these reselling, all this stuff, it's crazy. Like, I you can't even take that risk anymore. Like, I mean, you could return stuff here and there, but like, I'm not gonna lie to you. We all did it. We all do it. Probably still do it. There are certain things that be like, yeah, I'm gonna cop that and sell it and buy something I want. You can't do that anymore. Like, you can't buy something else and sell it to get what you want because it has no value anymore. There are
Yeah.
only a small select amount of sneakers that have value anymore. What's crazy is all the collaborations, and I mean collaborations not like Travis is signed with Jordan. I don't mean like that. Like, collaborations don't have value anymore. Like,
Yeah,
after
those one off like songs.
after the Union ones, that collaboration value faded away. And when I
Yeah,
say value, it doesn't mean that they're not selling for a little bit more than retail. Like, I'm in your fours. I'm sorry. I saw that being a, $700, $800 shoe. I thought, at least for a small period of time, it never did. I think the highest I've
no,
seen an I'm in your 490, maybe
yeah,
five, maybe.
yeah,
I'm in your threes now. Them joints used to be up there, but you can find yourself a pair for a reasonable price now. Like,
yeah.
it's crazy out here. You
So,
think any?
so do you think it'll get as bad as? Well, I mean, bad is a relative term, right? But
Right.
do you think it'll get like it is out here,
Over
or
here?
it won't get that? Yeah. Or do you think it
Um,
won't hit that point?
you know, people have these theories. Even George. He's like, oh, they'll just start limiting sneakers and they get back. I think it's us. It's our human interest and stuff. I don't believe that they can dictate it anymore. I don't.
But the resellers. I mean, the ones that are just got into it for reselling, those are the ones that are going to be the quickest to leave. And so once that happens, then
I
that would
mean, I feel that
a big shift, right?
I feel like they've all already left. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, that's what I was going to get to.
even going on Twitter, you would scroll and see somebody like, yo, I got a size 9, 11, 12, 8, 280 each. Hit me up. You don't see any of that anymore. You used to see
Yeah,
people with like a full size run, like, yo, I got 1.7, 2.7.5, 3.8. You don't see any of that no more. I don't see price lists anymore on social media. I've literally seen this one guy, and I had put a message on him because I was just like, buddy, this guy was selling, I don't know how many pairs he had, and he was selling them all at retail, like 40, I don't know, 500 plus pairs, I think he had. 500 pairs, he was selling them all for retail. And I'm like, oh yeah, them is stuff that he thought he was going to resell and stuff like that. And he was like, look, I'm taking about a $20,000 loss, on these. And he's calling it a loss because he thinks it's profit that he should have had. No, 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 no.
oh,
Yeah, that's what he's
oh,
viewing
I
it
see.
as. And he was like, does anybody know a good resale shop, or does anybody want to cash me out? Buddy. And he wanted
Jeez.
like 110 or something like, I don't know what he wanted. He wanted like a lump sum, like 60,000 or something. I don't know what it was. And it was like, nah, buddy, them yours now. You stuck, or you gonna take that L. Sorry, pal.
Yeah,
That's just the
yeah.
way it is. Like, but I'll ask you this. Do you think there's anything or anyone or anything to blame to where it is right now in China? I'll say in China right now.
I mean, COVID for sure, because people just like kind of, like I said, snapped out of it. And another thing that we talked about was, um, like Nike earning a bad reputation out here for a little period of time.
Mm.
Like the whole cotton issue kind of like set them back big time.
Hmm.
Um, the logistics issue where like shoes were made here, but then most of the product was actually going to the States. But then because they couldn't ship it to the States, most of the product just stayed within China, and so nothing sold out, and then the hype died. And then another one, I guess, is like people just was like, oh, let's try some other brands. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
we're all wearing the same shit, man. Like,
Oh yeah.
like you said, like Leaning, like dude, Leaning makes some dope basketball shoes. Like, I don't know how true Anta is signing Kyrie Irving,
Right. Yeah, I
but
saw that.
like they make some dope shoes too. Um, like serious player only. Like they're making some really good basketball shoes too. Like there's no need to. I don't need to drop $200 on a LeBron. Are you kidding me? Like I'm sorry.
Heck
And I
no.
totally agree with what you said last time. The colorways on those are getting worse. How does that happen?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
How do the colors get worse?
Like, you know what's funny? I got into this argument a long time ago. I'm talking probably like 8+ years ago with this guy on Facebook, right? And I was saying, I don't remember what sneaker it was, but I said the sneaker sucks. I said the colorway is fire, but the sneaker sucks. And he was like, that's impossible. He was like, there's no way the color could be fire, but the sneaker sucks. I was like, what are you talking about? This LeBron, I mean, I have never, like, when the first LeBron pictures came out, ooh, a low top, okay. Price was stupid, but it was like, okay,
Yep.
like, different. This is something different. Like, I could get with this. And
Yep,
then
yep.
dropped another colorway. Okay, the black, okay, cool. Then a white one, okay. It went downhill from there. Like, the
Yep,
colorways
that was
made the shoe whack. Like, and now here's the thing. If you're gonna do that with a shoe like that, then it needs to be priced at around 140. It needs to be 140 because then you couldn't have so many variables to make you judge the sneaker so hard.
Well, that's what I say. I got too much to lose.
Yeah, like
You put a shoe out there, and I bought the colorway, and the colorway is kind of trash, and I spent $195, $210 on it, and I'm like, oh man, I'm in trouble now.
like there hasn't been a sneaker in a long time that has had, anywhere from 5 to 10, 12 colorways to where I wanted them all. That used to happen. Like with
That used to happen.
like Kobe 8s, Kobe 6s,
KD
things like
7.
that.
I was like that with KD 7. I wanted all the colorways for the
Yeah,
KD 7.
KD 4s, all those. There were certain models of sneakers where it was like, okay, cool, I want this colorway. Yo, this was great. Yo, like you would want every single colorway. Yeah, right. Now with a LeBron, you gotta literally pick the best one. And this is what's crazy, right? You could wait. Like, let's say you really like the LeBron 20. You could wait to the very last minute to decide which one you want because the colorways are dropping so fast and so many
I know.
that like you can go, I really like the first colorway the most. I like it the most, but let me wait. And you can watch them drop 15 other colorways and then be like, okay, now I'll cop the one that I really, really like.
Yep.
Because it used to be where like if you cop the first one, you'd be mad like, dang, I just spent $200 on the first one and I want the next one because it's dope too, but I don't want to spend that $200. Nope, you don't have to anymore. You can hold that $200 until for the entire year. You can hold it for an entire year and make the decision on which colorway you like the best. You can say, well, if they're on colorway 15, yep, to me the first one is the third colorway that came out. That's the best one, I'll cop it. And you can see the track record. You can go with the LeBrons right now, the LeBron 20s, and you can go, yeah, they've peaked. There's no way they come out with anything better than the one that I really like right now. So I'm gonna go back and buy that right now. With Kobe's, it used to suck. You buy the first Kobe 8 that dropped, I need it. You buy the sulfurs, the black, then another one comes out and another one, you like, I need it. Like there was like, I would probably say out of the entire Kobe 8 line, I may be stretching here. There may have been 2 colorways I thought sucked. There may have been 4 that were like, but there may have been 2 colorways that I legit thought sucked. I couldn't tell you what they are. I can't even think of them right now. Like I didn't think the vintage.
We also didn't have as many. We also didn't have to like worry about 20 colors dropping. Right?
No.
It was just like they're gonna drop at most, and even at that point, Kobe 8 at that point was already a lot of colors compared to what we used to get.
100%. Let me tell you something. You know how you fix LeBrons? You only come out with 4 colorways. That's how you fix it. LeBron is still a polarizing enough athlete, especially with this new model. I see a lot of people hooping in this model at the gym by our house. I see a lot of people wearing these LeBron 20s to hoop in, kids hooping in them. But you know how you supplement it? LeBron is still going to be LeBron. You drop 4 colorways, 3 colorways, trust me, the interest will be there 100%.
Yeah.
Because it's like you got these 3 to choose from. You really love LeBron. You want a LeBron. You got these 3. They will choose. But it's like if I buy this one on Tuesday and then I look on sneakers, they got another one dropping, and then you look, there's 3 more dropping. I seen them do teaser pics of a collaboration the other day for unknown times,
Oh yeah.
I'm just thinking. I'm like, wait a minute. Are you really doing a teaser for this still? The shoe has been out forever. Just show the shoe. We don't need a teaser. 90% odds are I'm 95% confident it sucks. And sucks is just how we talk. It may not actually suck, but it definitely isn't going to be worth my money. That's how I'll put it. I don't want it.
So do you think? So I told you why I think it slowed down. Like, do you think that will happen in the States?
100%. It's already happening. It's happening, but people are really too self-absorbed within themselves that they're blind to it. They don't want to recognize it because they think, we talked about the world, they think the world is Instagram. So if I'm sitting here in my city in Arizona and I go on Instagram, man, I would think that sneakers are still thriving. But if I actually walk out of my house, go to Target, go to a farmer's market, take my kids to a some type of festival, go here, they're not. They're not. Like, if I can go to the mall and just walk around the mall for hours and maybe see a Panda Dunk, maybe see a Jordan 1, they're not. If you can walk out, Jay, in the United States, I'm speaking United States right now. If you can walk out, and people thought I was corny when I said this, when you can walk out of your house wearing legit heat, I'm not talking Travis Scott's, I'm not talking Off-Whites, I'm talking an Air Max that is legit heat, and you don't even get a like, ooh.
That's what I was just going to ask you. Do people still do that?
I said this a long time ago, and somebody said I was corny for wearing heat to the mall, for trying to get people to react. I'm not trying to get people to react. If I walk into a Foot Locker wearing an Atmos Safari, at the very least, Foot Locker employees should go, ooh, them is crazy, you got them on.
Yeah.
You can wear legit heat, excluding Travis Scott's and Off-White. You can wear that Atmos Safari you just copped. You can walk into a sneaker shop, any sneaker shop in any mall, and not a single person gives them a look.
But okay, so is it because everyone is jaded by sneakers, or is it because they don't know what it is?
One, they may not know what it is. Two, there's just too many. It's too many to care. Like, what makes yours heat anymore? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Like, right.
Sure, that may be heat to you, but there's also 700,000 other colorways in these Air Max 1s. Like, what's really heat anymore?
Yeah.
Like, heat right now is determined on whether or not it's Travis Scott or an Off-White Nike. That's one. Those are the two, like, standards of heat right now. And also for us, as sneakerheads that's been in the game for a really long time, heat to us now determines the year. Yo, I got the 2008 Air Max on.
Yep.
Yo, I got the 87 ones on. When cats started bringing out 87 ones and started buying 87 Jordan or 85, whatever year, they started buying 85s.
Yep, 85s. Yep,
cats started wearing and starting to look for and buy 85s. That determined heat.
Bruh, those. I remember when those were at its peak. It was like $5,000 for a pair of beat and busted Jordan 180.
That determined heat. When cats started going, oh yeah, I copped the silver bullets. Oh yeah, them cool, but I got the OGs though. I got the ones from 97 though. Like, that was the determination of heat. Like, for us that's been in it for a really, really long time. Like the things that change in the scale, we can convince ourselves all we want. And I'm not trying to, like, not convince anybody. I'm just trying to get people to pay attention to the moment. Because, hey, maybe it'll all come back and the conversations on these sneaker pages will all change. Now we'll be back to, ooh, fire, ooh, fire, ooh, fire. We may get back to that at some point. But right now, we're not there. Shout out to the homie Mr. Miller, right? He copped the all black Travis Lowe and had it customized.
Right.
That's crazy. Not crazy that he did that, but it's crazy that you have to do that. The Travis itself wasn't special enough. Nah, I gotta put some Tiffany on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. Anyways.
So then, like, last thing, because I know we've been talking about this for a while, but like, do you think, because you know how it's like, it's all cyclical, right? So it's like, oh, do you think we're going to go back to pre-2015? But it's going to be hard because now that social media is the way it is, it's like, do you think sneakers will go back to?
No.
You know what? I don't think it can, right? Like,
it can't.
I don't think so either.
If you can put sneakers back at the 2015 prices, maybe. But yeah, you almost don't want the hype to come back because the hype is gonna make it even more expensive. Like so let me see my phone right here. Let's do calculations real quick. So those Jordans, hold on, those Jordan 11s are, what was it, 260, 230, 230 for those 11s, right?
230.
So let's do with tax in the U.S. I'm gonna go 247. 247 times 12. Okay, that's buying one sneaker a month at that much. That's almost $3,000. Okay.
Okay.
That doesn't include everything else in between. Like
100%.
Like I can't. If everything costs a minimum of 200, it's insane. Like I can only buy certain ones. Like, does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
I don't really know. I don't know. I might be talking in circles now, but I don't see it going back. I really don't. You know, I'm excited. Not excited. I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm curious too.
I'm curious to see what happens with those 11s at the end of the year. I don't know. You know what I find more joy in is buying my sneakers for Cortez. You know.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Yeah, so when I buy shoes for Catherine, I get more excited than she is, and she doesn't even know the difference between anything.
Yeah, I've never been to like buy myself, buy my kid a pair. It's buy my kid pairs now. Like I got them already. You know what's funny? We went to go watch Spider-Man, right? Now, I would have expected this along, I don't know. So we went to go watch Spider-Man. He's wearing the new Spider-Man one, the glitch, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought he'd be the only one in the win it. Nope. There was about 10 other pairs in there. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, you know, that's kind of crazy. Like 10? 10 is a high amount of numbers for a sneaker like that. You know what I mean? I was the only one in there with lost and founds though. Like, it just,
yeah, you had to let them know.
I don't know.
You had to let them know that OG head in there.
Buddy, kids are wearing Clarks. I mean, not Clarks, sorry, Crocs. All right.
Oh yeah, Crocs. Yeah.
And what's funny is I'm driving and I'm at this intersection in my neighborhood. Not neighborhood, like in the community. A busy intersection, you know, a major intersection. It's like Indians, it's Camelback and Dysart. A busy intersection in my city, right? These kids were at the wait. They pushed a little button, you know, to give them the signal to cross the street. It was 4 boys, looked like they played baseball, tall, slim, white dudes, all wearing Crocs. The first thing I thought was like walking out in the street. Like, what if somebody try to rob y'all or beat y'all up or start chasing y'all and y'all sitting out here wearing backless shoes? Like, that's the first thing I think. And that's just maybe old school mentality, you know, maybe. But they're not like, they didn't have a car. They're walking. Like, they're not old enough to drive. They're walking. And I'm just thinking to myself, I couldn't even take that risk walking around like that. It's just
there goes your airport situation.
And that's to me, like, even if a car turned quickly towards them, they wouldn't even have the grip on their feet to avoid the car from being hit. It's like they just gonna have to get hit. You know, what if a dog starts chasing you? Like, you just start walking and a random dog come out and start chasing you. What you gonna do in them Crocs, man? Got them Nike slides on, got them Yeezy slides on. Like, are you serious?
You got that old man energy right now, bro.
Fam, I went out the house in my Crocs today for the first time. And that's because I went to go buy these headphones really, really quick. First time I've ever left the house in Crocs. These are my house shoes. I will use these to go pick the kids up from school in the drive up pickup line. I will use these to go, check the mailbox. I may go get a gallon of milk in these. But we don't even do gallon of milk anymore. Guess what we do? We order it on the app and we pick it up in the car. It's a new day. Like, going into the grocery store felt crazy. I'm like, where the heck are the headphones at now? You know why? Because we order our groceries on the app and we drive up in the space and they open our trunk and they put all our groceries in the trunk right now. Effort? Put effort into doing anything anymore? Come on, Jay. It's crazy. It's crazy. Andy was in a line yesterday to buy Phoenix Coyote shorts and a Phoenix Coyote hat. He was in a line. I said, why are people in line for that? Nobody should be in line for that. Not any shade to Andy. It was shorts and a hat. It wasn't even a fitted. It was like a dad hat. And I'm like, I don't get anything anymore. I gotta stop before I start getting too old man in here. You ready to do top 10? We've been on for a long time. I know you tired.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do top 10.
It's 3 a.m. for me right now.
Oh my gosh, let's do this top 10. So we're doing top 10 sneakers for the summer. To us, we have our own different variations on how we did this. So do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
Okay, so you tell me. Let's have you go first, but I also, I don't know, like, our lists are going to be so different because I actually went with personal pairs. So it's like, this is going to be a weird list in comparison.
No, it doesn't matter. It don't matter. Whatever you want to call your list, that's what I'll put on the screen. Whatever I call my list is what I'll put on the screen.
Oh my God. All right, here we go.
So you want to go first or you want to go first?
Yeah. Maybe I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so this is 2023 summer top 10 shoes that top 10 shoes of the summer for me, to me. I don't even know how to name it. What would you name it?
That's it. I mean, top 10 sneakers that you plan on wearing in the summer?
Yeah, I guess. Like, top 10 shoes that I'll be wearing this summer? I don't know. That sounds very personal, though. It's not, like, applicable to everyone.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's like doing top 10. What's your top 10 favorite movies? It doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right, but. All right, so I got...
So what's it called? Hold on. What's it called? Top 10 sneakers you may wear?
Okay, no. Hold on. Let me think. My brain is fried. It's 3 a.m. Hold on. It's top 10 sneakers of my own. Oh, wait, top 10 of my own sneakers for summer.
Sounds good.
2020.
Top 10 sneakers of the summer you own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So, starting with honorable mention. For the summer, Question Blue Toes.
I'm sorry, did you say Question Blue Toes?
Yeah.
That is an actual boot.
Yeah, I know, but you wear it with shorts.
Lord have mercy.
Next one. Mischief Big Red Boots. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not mad at it. Them is toys to me.
Can you imagine wearing that in the summer and then
Hey, it will be done. I guarantee.
Them joints will probably melt on your foot.
Out here in Arizona, yes, but them joints will be at a few pool parties near you. Trust me.
You can probably fill it with like a margarita or something.
100%. You will see them on the block.
And then the next one, the real honorable mention is the Dunk Low Fossil Rose. I think that's pretty.
People love that one.
You don't like that shoe?
No, I do. But I think initially when the pictures first came out or when like it was set to release, you don't think much about it. Like there's so many pink versions and so many dunks that
oh my god, there's so many pink versions. But I think it's a little bit different because the whole shoe is suede as opposed to like
everyone talks about that one and I'm like, wow, I'm surprised that it's like universally looked at that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Okay, so number 10, Dunk Low Vintage Navy. Number 9, Tom Sachs General Purpose Shoe. white.
I agree.
Number 8, the Nike Airship Every Game, the blue one.
Is like the light blue, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Number 7, one we haven't heard from in a while, the Adidas Ultra Boost Triple White V1. I mean, every time I pull that sneaker out, it is still clean, man. Like, it is still a clean looking shoe.
It really is, Jay. And I got Ultra Boost on my list somewhere too. So
Number 6, Air Max 1 University Red. I guess you can't go wrong with blue either, but I just think for some reason red for the summer.
you want the OG red, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Number 5, Jordan 3 White Cement.
Reimagine
Yeah.
or white cement, which.
Yeah, whichever. White Cement. And it's just more white in it. Just too clean.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, New Balance 990 V2 Kith Rose.
992?
Yeah. No, 990 V2.
Oh, 990 V2 Kith Rose. Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Nike Vomero Oatmeal. Sorry, I know you have a strong feeling towards Vomeros.
No, I love Vomeros. I just think people tried to make them something that they're not. Like, people...
I think Nike tried to make them something that they're not.
No, I think Nike put them out and they let us do all the work. Like I say.
Yeah.
Nike doesn't have to say a single word. Hey, guess what, gang? We're going to start making Vomeros. Then what happens? It takes one person to go, ooh, is Nike trying to get at New Balance? Huh?
This is Nike's 2002R.
Ooh, is this Nike way of trying to say, nah, New Balance, we're back? Nike ain't said a single word. Nike is sitting there with money, counting money, flip through the thing while we debate. Ooh, is New Balance is New Balance done? Because Vomeros are in. I'm thinking to myself, will y'all stop? Like, stop it. Should people own a Vomero? 100 trillion percent. Are Vomeros fire? No, it's shoe. It's dope. Like, anyways.
Number 2, Salehi Bembry Crocs.
You want to see them outside?
Sorry?
You want to see those outside?
I mean, that's what I'm wearing this summer.
Well, let me tell you something. Our lists are pretty... We got some stuff together on here.
And then number 1 is the Jordan 1 Low Neutral Gray.
Oh, that's your number 1?
Yeah.
I wore that sneaker one time.
Man, that's a really good sneaker to beat up, man. Like, I've been wearing them a lot. Like,
well,
untied laces. Like, they're so easy to just slip on.
Oh, no. I wore them one time, and I don't remember what I was doing, but I got home and them joints were trashed. Like, I have no idea how. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not prepared to clean these yet, so back to the closet. I like that.
I actually did the pen dye. I did it myself on them.
Oh, that's right. You did do that. They still look all right?
Yeah, I did a whole video. Yeah, dude, they look, now that they actually are like yellowed because they've just been out, but yeah, they look pretty good. I mean, they're a little bit too dirty. Like, I probably should clean them up a little bit, but yeah, they look pretty good.
That's what's up. I thought about doing it, and especially after you had did it, and then Simple had did it, and I was like,
I did them to my 550s too. I did them to my New Balance 550. So I bought a pair of all white ones for like $60, and then I just did the pen dye on them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So here's my list, and I did top 10 sneakers that I want to see outside in the summer. Some of these I have. I mean, actually, there's only.
To be honest, you have them all.
Yeah, there's only one that I. There's only. Yeah, and this can go either way, but I put a specific colorway to one. So there's only one on here that I don't. Actually, I'm sorry. There's two on here I don't have. And one for a particular reason, and the other one I just lazy. Anyways, so my honorable mention. I didn't have an honorable mention at first, but I do got an honorable mention. I do got Adidas Sambas. I wear Sambas almost every other day because I wear those to coach soccer in. I wear Sambas to be on the sideline to coach in soccer, and I wear them at practice with my kids every single day. I had bought 3 pair of Sambas off Kith that were on sale for like $40, $30 off Kith during COVID, right? These joints came with dust bags, about 10 pair of laces each. I was just like, oh, cool, Sambas. Cause Sambas is cheap. I looked on StockX. Them joints are selling for about 200 something, right? They're a special collaboration. Like, they're a special collaboration, and they're like Samba OG oysters.
Would anyone know that?
No.
Would anyone know that?
No, they're just one pair is yellow, one's red, and one's royal blue. And I was like, thank God I bought them. But I got that in my honorable mention.
Do they play on grass, or is it the artificial
They
turf?
play on, it depends. Like, some fields out here are artificial turf, but like it's so hot that the turf gets way too hot. But most of the time they play on grass. Like,
So then do Sambas actually like grip it better, or
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you wore an ultra boost versus you wore a pair of Sambas, like would you be able to feel the difference?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Like, I'll be honest with you.
Ringing endorsement.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't know. It's really hard to say. Like, with the fields out here, the turf is held down by like a lot of pellets. So it's kind of like if you were driving really fast on a gravel road. Like, if you hit your brakes on the gravel road, your car is still going to travel because it's rolling on the gravel. It isn't really touching the ground. It's sort of like that on the soccer fields we play on. It's like, if you don't have like little nipples or like little spikes on the bottom of your shoes, it don't matter what you're wearing, you're still going to keep going. It builds up the kids' leg strength and stuff like that because of how strong they have to be to change direction. But like, if I put on a pair of Ultra Boost or a pair of Sambas and I ran really, really fast on the turf and I like stopped really, really hard to change directions, I would slide a little bit still. You know what I mean? The best part of Sambas, the best part about them is like how they're constructed to like actually kick a soccer ball. Like,
okay, I got you.
The way the tip kind of the toe box goes to sort of like a point, and then like how it's like really flat on the sides. Like the toe box is like leather, but the sides is nylon, so it's like really perfect to kick a soccer ball. Running, like you'll be fine at anything. Now I will tell you this: on an artificial turf, no, you ain't playing on Jordans, like zero. Like, you'll be sliding all over the place, and that's facts. But for my number 10, so I'm doing top 10 sneakers I want to see outside in the summer. So I got number 10, I got the AJ Low Bleach Coral. And this is basically any Jordan Low. I picked the Bleach Coral because I don't think I've ever seen anybody wear them besides Andy. Like, I can't honestly say I've seen anybody wear them. And if I had to say a summertime shoe colorway, I feel like that would be one of them. But
Are
to
those
me,
going for a lot?
No, not a lot. But see, that's the one that I have on here that I don't have, and I'm just being lazy. I seen them the other day for $135, and I'm like, nah, maybe one day. But any Jordan 1 Low, OG shape to me. Number 9, I got Salehi Benberry Crocs 2. Now, when I say I want to see these outside, I don't mean, at the local food festival. I want to see these poolside. I'm going to be wearing mine to the pool. I take them off, put them on, jump in the water, jump back out, put them back on. They're made out of rubber or foam. They get wet, doesn't matter. They dry up, doesn't matter. That's where I want to see them. I don't want to see fits with these. To me. Don't be sitting there laying out your fit to go with your Crocs. No, thank you. Nope. Number 8, I got Ultra Boost. I feel like Adidas is prime for a small Ultra Boost return. I feel like,
but I don't know why.
I don't know why either. Well, this is what's funny, right? With Nike continuing to just be Nike, just the same over and over and over and over and over. Adidas has just been really quiet. Adidas is in a really good spot to make some noise, but they just don't know how. Yeah. It's like they have some of the product, but they don't know how to make the proper noise. They don't know how to do it. And for whatever reason, lately, I've been coming to my closet looking at my Ultra Boost like, dang, like, I just want to wear them. Like, I just want to put them on. I don't, but I just want to put them on. I got so many DS pair of Ultra Boosts, it's not even funny.
I only kept a couple of them. I only kept the grays, the creams, the black purples, the OG, and then that the Black History Month one that I love telling that story.
Bruh, I got Nice Kicks, Ultra Boost. I got Packer. I got the Wolf Grays. I got the olives, the burgundies. I got triple whites. I got creams. I got ASU. I got ASU yellow. I got ASU white. I got Nebraska. I got what's the all blacks? Was that Nebraska too?
You need to get rid of some of those.
I got Washington Huskies. I got Miami Hurricanes. If I got 2000, whatever the new model is, I'm out of control. But I do want to see those come back at some point. I want to see more people wearing them. Number 7, and this is another one that I don't own anymore, and that's just because he's an actual crazy person. But Yeezy 350 V2s. Look,
I had that on my list too, and then I swapped, and then I changed it out just to get the Ultra Boost one in there.
If I'm not gonna be wearing them, but people can't deny a Yeezy 350 V2 might be the ultimate summertime sneaker. It just is. It just is. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's everything the Ultra Boost should be. That's how I'll put it. How people treat Yeezy 350 V2s is how they should treat Ultra Boost all year long. You can see them beat up. You can see them DS. You can see them clean. You can see them with jeans, shorts. You can see them at any point. People wearing them low socks, high socks, barefoot. The Yeezy 350 V2 is probably the ultimate summertime sneaker, but I'm not going to give him that credit. So he's at number 7. All right. Number 6, I got Nike Cortezes. You know, I think more people need to put some respect on Cortezes. Nike's trying to get people to buy Cortezes. Like, there's probably like 3 or 4 colorways sitting on Nike's sneaker app right now.
Oh, they had that green one that came out that I thought was pretty fire.
Yeah, it's like Gorge Green or something like that. It was a women's one. That joint's fire and clean, but like, you know, I feel like Cortezes have shaken that gangster vibe, that gangster persona that it. I mean, Cortezes for us in California. For just the United States, those were drug dealers. Those were gang member shoes. All the gangs wore them. That's what they were. I feel like they've shaken that. You know, I think they've shook that off. Nobody views them that way anymore. You'll still hear a few people say it here and there who just aren't into sneakers and stuff like that. But among sneakerheads, I don't think a lot of people either were there or remember that those were like, I mean, them is the ultimate crip walking shoes. You know, you put them joints on, you get sturdy. You know? But, you know, number 5, I got another Adidas on here. I got Adidas Human Race, you know, NMDs. Pharrell.
Look at you. You are bringing Adidas back.
Pharrell, I'm the only one that probably still buys Pharrells. I got about 3 or 4 pairs of Sachonas. I wear them on a regular basis sometimes. I look to try to figure out how to wear them. I don't know how those fell off so bad. After they dropped those first 5 OG colorways of Human Race, the yellow, red, blue, orange, black, they fell off stupid hard.
Yeah.
They even came out with like tie-dye and cool colors and different languages and all kind of stuff, and they fell off hard. I want to see more of those back out on the streets. Number 4, I just got color dunks. You know, I got dunks.
Yeah, anyone, right? Any color.
Any color. And I think I just want to see more color dunks. Like, I don't know if I see dunks as much as I do, but like, I can't remember the last time I seen anybody wear a plum or a Viotech, or, you know, like, I just want to see more of those.
Yeah, you don't see those.
No.
You don't see those very much.
I think I just want to see more of those vibrant colored dunks, you know, white and red, whatever, blue and white, whatever. I want to see like these ones that like I'm not buying. Like, there's a lot of dunks that come out that I go, these are alright, these ain't bad, but I don't see them anywhere. I want to see people wearing them. I want to see those out. Number 3, I got the Jordan 3 Reimagined, white cement, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I look awful in threes, but other people look great in them. So I want to see them out and worn. It's really hard to say when is the appropriate time to wear a Jordan 3. It's like they're not low tops, they're not high tops, they're kind of wide, they're kind of not. It's just that,
Yeah, they can be a little awkward.
yeah, they're just a little awkward, but man, there is something about the back of a Jordan 3. Like,
Yeah,
at the right angle with the Nike on the tab, there's just something
yeah, with the
about it,
Nike
man.
there too.
It's just something about it. Number 2, you know what I got for number 2? Now this, people may not be able to do this because if you didn't buy them then, I don't know if they're expensive now. I have no idea, but the OG Waffle Sakai's, the very first Waffle
Oh, okay,
Sakai's, um,
okay.
I wore
Wait,
those.
are those the wait? No, that's not the daybreaks, right?
No, no, no.
Or
The
is that the
ones,
daybreak?
the very first ones, where the back of the midsole hung off the edge. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yep, yep, yep.
yeah, the LCD or LD. Let me see if I can see them in the closet right now.
What color?
That's LW Waffle. Hold on. L Zoom Cortez Sakai. It's Cortez Sakai. I don't even know where mine are. Um,
What color? All of them?
anyone. I have that Barney colorway. People used to call it Barney colorway, that purple
Yeah,
green, and I
yeah,
have the
yeah.
green.
Purple green.
Yeah, and I have the yellow, green, and orange one. I haven't
Oh, the
wore that.
OG one. That one's fire too.
Yeah, I haven't wore the Barney one yet. That one's still DS. My OG yellow green ones, I beat those to the ground. They need a good scrubbing and wear, but I want to see those more. It's almost like those don't exist anymore. Like those are forgotten. Those used to be the shite, and man, fakes of those. Ooh wee! There was so many fake versions of those out there on the streets. Like, you know what? I may wear them
Yeah,
joints today, though. You know what? I'm
I
wearing them
really
joints
like.
today, though.
Yeah, and then post them too.
You know, I am. I'm wearing them joints to soccer today, though. I'm glad I said that. And then number 1, I don't care what nobody says, Vans. Like, Vans, Vans, Vans. Now, the Vans are, to me, Vans are Vans. Like, you put them joints on your foot, you time if you want, you don't time, you beat them up, you wipe them down, you don't beat them up. There's dope collaborations, dope patterns, dope colors. They're Vans, and they're reasonably affordable still. Now, an OG Van right now does go for about $80, which is insane.
That's a lot.
It's a
God
lot for a
damn.
Van, especially considering them jorts are one of the most uncomfortable sneakers of all time. You could wear them barefoot, high socks, low socks, ankle socks. Them joints is just the ultimate sneaker to me.
Do you
It's
have the most bands? Do you have the most bands of all of the shoes that you own?
the most Vans of all the shoes. I don't know, man. I think I may got about 30 pair of Vans. I don't know if that's a lot. Um,
What do you have the most of? Jordan 1?
no, I don't know. There's so many orange Nike boxes in here, but like they're not all the same shoe. So
Mm,
it may be Vans. Like I think you may
probably. Probably.
I think it's Vans then. If I had to like say the most of something, it's probably Vans. I think that's a good assessment. Yeah, it's Vans. Anyways, you got anything else for me, Jay?
Nothing much, man. I mean, I was starting to get worried about our friendship. I was like, God damn, like Greg ain't having me on. I think I told some people that I reported you to the Asian Pacific, like Asian hate IG pages.
Dude, I've been trying, but like I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I just been super just hyper focused on like other things, you know what I mean? Like,
Hey, man, I get it.
yeah, and it's
I
like,
get it.
and I told somebody, I was like, man, Jay is family. Like, I get Jay up, we family. Like, I don't view it that way. Like, there's a lot of people that I try to make this time for, and it's just really hard to. But like, you like the OG guest of the show. I mean, you're the international correspondent. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I never want anybody to think I'm not trying to get them on, and at the same time, I'm trying to like give other people the opportunity to come on, and like, what's
Yeah,
crazy,
I hear
right?
that.
Like, and I'll just say this real quick because I know you're tired and whatnot, but like, what's crazy about the podcast, right? Is like people forget if there's like a lot of new listeners, a lot of new stuff. People forget all the guests that we've had on our show, like, and I don't mean just from like regular people. I mean like legit guests, like major people. I can't get any of those people on the show at all anymore. If it's not complex, they're not going. Like, I'm not going to say this person's name, but this person I used to
talk. Why is that? But why is that?
Because they're selective of, like, it's complex. It's complex. They're not gonna give
who they give their voice to.
They
like
still
who they give their voice to.
Like, people have been hitting me up about. You know what? I don't want to say it on here.
No, you don't have to say it. I'm just like,
yeah.
What, people are just like selective, like who they give their opinions to. Like,
well, it's not even that. They're just selective
or something, or what?
No, it's like, it's like if it's like the person who does sneaker review over here versus Cousteau. If Cousteau said, "Yo, I want you to come on my show," sure, I'll do it. But then if, like, just one of the regular cats trying to start their page up said, "Hey, would you mind coming on my show?" Oh, nah.
I get it.
Like a person that, like, I used to talk to pretty often.
It's just a pop, yeah.
Like a person that I used to talk to pretty often that came on this podcast. I said, "Yo, we need you back on." He hit me with an email like, "Yo, this is my marketing PR people." Huh? I asked you. So email them and then they'll decide, wait, no thanks. I'm good. Like, no thank you. Like, I'm not doing that. I'll even say, I don't want to say this.
Nah, it's okay.
But I do want to say it. But I don't want to say it. Like, there's a person who I am confident nobody knew existed.
Mm-hmm.
Some did in his state, and small circles did. But I know for a fact we introduced that person to a decent amount of people, listeners who didn't know he existed, enjoyed his story, enjoyed what he was doing and whatnot. And I haven't heard a peep from him at all, ever. Come to this state multiple times. Like, is in Arizona probably 2-3 times a year. Nothing. Not even like, let's do a pod. Not even like, yo, I'm dropping this item, come get one. Nothing. You guys can listen and figure out who it is. If you want to DM and ask me who it is, feel free and I'll tell you who it is. But I see him just giving the most ultimate props to Complex.
Is it because it's like you guys aren't big time enough?
We're just not big time. We're not big time enough. Okay. I see him on social media. Oh my God, thank you so much, Complex. I love you, Complex. I never thought my wildest dreams, Complex. Oh, Complex. Hey man, I had you on episode 180, man. Or 90, whatever it was. I had you on when you was just sitting in your car on your... You know what? Never mind. Anyways, you got anything else, Jay, man? I love talking to you, man. You my dog, man.
Yeah, you my homie, bro. I miss you a lot. But I will, I was trying to squeeze in Phoenix because Grace has been wanting to go, and her best friend's husband runs an Airbnb there in Scottsdale. So,
what's the dates you going to LA?
I'll be there from the 20th until the 27th. I'll be there for a week.
Of June?
Of June.
Okay. Maybe I'll try to drive out there.
If you are around, definitely will.
I think I may try. I gotta see. It's cutting it really close, and I got a bunch of stuff going on with work. But
I know. But also, I have big things coming up with Doe, man. I'm like working big deals. I'm like doing big time stuff with them.
It seems like you work for them now.
I mean, I pretty much do. I work with them. I don't work for them, but I work with them. But they just launched their first international website. So if there's any, like, I'll send you the link later. But if there's anything on there that you want, I can get it like big discount.
And I hope that anything that you're doing, you feel comfortable with what you're doing with them. Like, I don't want to say compensation wise, but like, you know what I mean?
No, yeah, I totally know what you mean. Trust me, you're not the only one. Grace is always always be like, you better not be working for free.
Yeah, like because like I feel like you, me, and a bunch of other people are like like
I
have
know.
ideas, huh?
Yes. Well, I have so many ideas. I know exactly what you're saying, and it's like because you just want to like somehow get your ideas out there, you kind of like forget that these are your intellectual property sometimes. You know.
Yeah, like that's why like I wouldn't say some things on one of the episodes. I was like, nah, Nike gonna have to hit me up and ask me themselves, and we're gonna have to
Right.
talk about
Yeah.
something before I give an idea because it's like, man, like we do care about sneaker culture a lot, and it's not to say you gotta
Hmm.
pay me or something, but like you have to value what I'm providing at some point. I don't care if it's like, I never pay for another sneaker again from your brand, or like you send me clothes like on a monthly, like whatever the case may be. It's something that's
Fact.
going to make me feel comfortable for what I'm doing. And I'm not saying that Doe
Fact.
needs to. I'm just saying that I hope that you're comfortable with whatever you're providing them. You're comfortable. That's how I do it.
Yeah. Fact. Fact.
So,
And like they got some big things coming down the pipe, and I'll definitely make sure that I can send you whatever I can from over here.
that's what's up, man. All right, Jay, man, I'll let you go, man. Go ahead, get some sleep, have safe travels, man. Try not to stay out of trouble, and I'm gonna hit you up and see if possibly I can get to LA for like one day or something like that, man.
I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up when I get there. I'll let you know.
All right, sounds good.
I appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Later, man. Be safe.